Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we hop on these charts on this beautiful Friday, April 24th, make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I certainly do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Always make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. If you trade, you're probably going to lose all your money. It's a crazy thing to do. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even if funded prop from accounts, and the affiliate and punishment disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Like Top of Futures code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money, which I do. Important for me to note that, for you to do your own dang research and make your own dang decisions. Chat, what's going on, man? Happy Friday, guys. Let's finish out this week strong. Let's finish out this week strong, man. Let's see if we can't catch another W. Let's see if we can't get short up here and maybe catch a little bit of that move to the downside. If you guys, let's get the good mornings in first. Forget about all that, man. Let's get the good mornings in first. Chat, good morning. Purple Ninja, Dwayne, say it back, chat. I want to say good morning to all you guys on here. If you're here today, first off, God bless you, man. Welcome to the show. You're alive. You're above ground. You have some piece of hardware that can connect to the internet, and then you have the time and wherewithal and the space and the capacity to be here hanging out with my dumbass. Awesome, man. Congratulations, dude. You're in like, you're doing well. Purple Ninja, what's up? Dwayne, what's up? Chris, Vincent, what's up? Afters, what's happening? Sand the Trader, man. It's all the OGs in here. All the OG boys and girls. What's up? Amor's Fit, Ivan, Allen, what's up? Top of the day. Top of the morning to ya. Mr. X Buggy, I'll read that. You said not proud of something. We'll come back to that. Enzo, you said something and then you deleted both of them. That's okay. I don't know if you guys know. I can read. I don't know if you guys know this. I'll let you in on a little secret. Not only can Discord, owners, on most socials, you could do it too. Live stream it. You could read everything. Whether you delete it, not delete it, you put it up, put it back up. You can almost always read it. Just to let you guys know. But that's okay. You can delete stuff if you don't want to. Mr. Buggy, what's up? Rob, what's up? Spelling mistake. No, it's all good. Good morning. Good morning, Enzo. I figured, man. I'm not giving you a shot. You're here all the time, man. Appreciate you guys being here. It's also funny, like, I used to click on people's names on live chats. I don't know if you know this. If you own or you're a moderator on a live stream, you can click on people's names and you can see not only like everything about the stuff that they do, you can see the past chat activity for whatever chat that they're in, right? So, plot twist, if someone comes on and says something negative, maybe like on Top Step TV in the past, I'd click on their name and I think, I wonder if this is like the first negative thing that they've said, or if they just are in love with this person that they continue to shit on. Excuse my language. Damn it, I'm trying to do better with it. But they were always just constantly a hater. Anyway, I'm trailing here this morning. Guys. Let's talk about the markets. We're here nice and early. We got 10 minutes to NYSE open. We're gonna get rolling, man. What's up, everybody else in the chat? If you're on Kick, if you're on X, what's up? Sloth, what's up on Kick? If you're on X, I can't read your chat. But welcome, man. I appreciate you being here. I'm not trying to take anybody off or on from any platform, but I'm here streaming to YouTube, Kick, and X right now. Let's talk trading. Yesterday, let's actually look at the trade. Let's get the real trade up on the screen. We like to go to the facts, okay? And you can always fact check everything that I do and say, because I don't want to watch my current video. I want to watch my past video. How do I look at my channel and then look at my past video? Damn it. All right, I'll task one of you guys with it. Let's see who wants to be legit. Someone go back to yesterday's live stream. You can go towards the end and tell me the exact price that I was short from and the exact stop loss level. Go ahead and tell me, somebody from yesterday. I'll challenge you. Go to the stream from yesterday, do me a solid, and tell me where I was short from. Not where my take profit was. I know it was way outside. But where was my exact entry from yesterday, and where was my exact stop loss? It was something along these lines. I ended the stream short with you guys. I talked about not having the ability to be sitting at the computer and some of the options we have when we have to step away, right? You could set a fixed take profit at stop loss. You can not do that, and you could set alerts and hope to come back to it. You can not set any alerts and just let the thing run. Can't be mad about grabbing some nice profits somewhere in here for about 750 some odd bucks. Put me in a position to take another payout from Lucid, hopefully today, if I don't fumble the bag. I requested another one from Top Step this morning. We're milking the prop firms. Talk a little bit about Top Step having some prop firm changes coming up. There we go. Mr. Buggy did it. Look at that. We were short from, I think it was in this candle, we were short from 49,586. Was it this candle? No, it was in here. 49,586. Bang. Stop was at 49,787. Mr. Buggy, you just earned quadruple entries to whatever the next giveaway is. So, just to confirm, this was the short from yesterday, right? Sat through some drawdown. Did I know I was going to be on the right side of a Trump comment candle? Nope. Did I capture 500 points? Nope. Did I let my trade play out without freaking out or do anything too crazy? And, oh my God, we're going to get a stop loss to break even quickly, stop myself out or add in or move it. Nope. Just chilled out. Let the thing run. Nice mean reversion play. We caught that very, very nicely. Let's see if we can't run something nice again today. Oh, shoot. I want to save that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, today, choppy overnight session. Very, 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 very choppy compared to NQ, which is pushing to the upside. Running highs. NQ continues to show strength. Their semiconductor, everything to do with the tech stocks, is absolutely overperforming. ES is closer to that NQ, where we are still continuing to push highs, right? This is really zoomed out on the 15-minute. Looking at multiple days of data here. YM, not nearly as strong. Not nearly as strong. Continuing to do that back and forth movement. Kind of why I like to trade it for that back and forth movement. I don't know. Sue me, guys. So, what are we going to do today? What are we going to do today on YM is the question, right? The question that everybody wants to know. The same damn thing. Literally the same play, guys. I pull up and run the same play over and over and over again. Guess what I'm going to look to do if we drop down here? Long. I'm going to look to long it. We got a pretty clean level in here, right? We got a pretty clean level in here, just to show you guys, right? Bottom end of this high volume node, right? Looking at visible range volume profile. And we got a low level in here, right? That I shorted yesterday. Got a little area in here yesterday. Here's what I'm going to look to do, guys, on YM. Let's be a little bit more serious. If we pop aggressively in one direction, if we move aggressively in one direction off of the open, I'm going to look to fade it quickly. If we sell off aggressively into this level off of the open, I'm going to look to buy that back up. If we pop aggressively off of the open above pre-market highs towards prior day high, I'm going to look to fade that back down, okay? If we chop around today and then start to move, I'm not going to look for the same trade, okay? Probably going to come over to NQ and pull something crazy, all right? Not pull anything crazy. We have 10 a.m. revised consumer sentiment. Not too much outside of that. So, again, yesterday we chopped a bit and I faded the later morning pop to the upside. I don't know that I'm going to run that again. I'm probably not, okay? I'd like to position myself long if I can. I got a feeling that YM's going to try to catch up if I had to have a bias. I got a feeling that YM's going to try to get back towards highs where we have NQ just completely outperforming. I think there's a chance for all of these to pull back. I would love a long from down in here. If we're going to break this area and head lower, I would be dead wrong. So I have a really good way to structure risk. We would be in for a nasty sell-off into the close of the weekend, until the close of the week. Conversely, if we pop to the upside, I certainly think we could catch a mean reversion back down. Again, I don't like it as much. Talked about that yesterday. I don't like trading from the middle of this, week as much. Here's our weekly open. Here's our weekly high. Here's the range that we've been in. Actually, here's the low. So I don't love trading from right here. I think you just open yourself up to chop and to get taken out. But I will. I will right off of the open. If we pop really aggressively, really aggressively, right? I'm going to use some discretion in here, guys. Above pre-market high for the shorts to be in play. Above the 49,600s at a bare minimum for the shorts to be in play. But this could be something if we start to drive higher really aggressively that I wait a minute on. Longs, pre-market lows at very least. At very least, 49,250s for the longs to be in play for me. Just personally for me. But preferably into this area, you know, closer to yesterday's low. Yesterday's pre-market low. Kind of this area that's been tested down here. Again, discretion. Right? Where exactly am I going to enter? I don't know. I don't have the price action market structure in front of me. I don't have the market generated information, the order flow as it's forming yet, right? If I was just going to trade that way, I would go, okay, you know, buy limit 1, right? Right at this area. It's not how I trade. I mark it in. So, that's what I'm looking for. Pre-market highs, pre-market lows at very least. Probably a little bit wider than that. A little bit more aggressive. Closer to prior day high, prior day low. Preferably the longs over the shorts, but I'll take it either way. Off of the open. If we start to chop here and just not do anything, I'm going to try not to just long or short from the middle of the chop. I don't want to do that today. I got a feeling we could start to move on a Friday and grind this thing to the upside or downside. You know, it's part of having a little bit of discretion in price action market structure here. Looking at this, we are really contracting here. You know, we're building, right? We got a nasty trend line if you're a trend line trader, which I'm not. But just to draw out some structure here, right? We are building. We're building up some steam, right? We typically don't do this for forever, right? Once eventually we break and run, we will start to go, right? So there's definitely some risk of that wedge pattern forming here and taking a mean reversion, a little bit dicey. But I'm going to keep playing it until it doesn't work. All right? And then when it doesn't work, I'm going to take an L, and then I'm going to continue playing it. Okay? That's my thesis. That's my thesis for today. Very similar to every other day. Mean reversion style on YM. Man, that zone worked like an absolute magic level yesterday. Here we go. Opening up. Let's get ready to run it, guys. Let's just taking a look at NQ. Let's get ready to rumble here. Nice. We are loaded up, ready to go. We're trading a 50K. There's just more of the 50K Lucid Flex accounts. I'm getting through them very quick in the evals, getting them to funded, waiting patiently to put big trades on, and scalping on NQ every day for small profit, putting at least a minimum trading day in across all of my accounts. Sometimes that goes really poorly where I'm just aiming to get a minimum trading day and I will lose an entire funded account. That is a reality that I take on the risk side. More aggressive, more advanced, right? Probably not for everybody. But just keeping it 100 with you guys, as the kids say. So, opening up here at VWAP, choppy overnight session. We started to open up to the upside there. Now we're coming lower. Let's see if we get this aggressive move in one direction. Again, I'm going to look to fade it. Either way. Either way. Watching this thing come lower here, guys. Nice, nice. Selling off, selling off. Let's see, let's see. Of course, we got new squawk loaded up on the back end here. Let's take a look at the chat. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Welcome to the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's up, guys? Happy to have you in. Happy to have you here with me. Thanks for being here. Y'all are awesome. Let's see what we could do today. Let's see what we could do today. Let's see. Selling off. We might get these longs, guys. We might get these longs. If we catch this, I'm going to go in full risk here. Full risk meaning a two mini trade. With a max stop loss. Again, I'm looking down here. There's a chance we just test down here, right? And start to chop in here. That's not my trade. I need it from the extreme of this big zone all the way down here. We certainly could just test the low end of this volume profile and come right back in. I prefer not to take two trades, right? If you wanted to take it from in there, maybe you take something like this, like right now, right? And you say, well, I'm going to take this first, and this could be a beautiful play. Okay, you know, maybe that's your style. I don't really like to do that. I like to wait patiently and put my trade on. And if I don't get it, I don't get it. I don't like to take 47,000, halfway decent trades in between the one that I'm waiting for. I think that just burns capital, burns mental capital. It just doesn't pay me well. So again, looking for this area down here. Below pre-market low, I said the 250s for the shorts, for the longs to be in play. I'd love an aggressive crack down here, and I'm going to buy that bad boy right back up. Exactly where? Just take a look in here, guys. Yeah, we might not get it. We got a nasty sweep yesterday. And just looking at price action and structure, the way that I'm reading this, if we start to come lower, and we are indeed going to start to get, moderate time frame closures down here and really start to push lower, this is where I think we're headed next, right? Just looking at high time frame, volume profile, and market structure, right? This is where I think we'd be headed next. We came down here, so we might not have to come down here again. This would make for a clean out doji candle, right? And if this formed as a huge bullish candle, I'd say classic price action market structure, right? So, just kind of anticipating this, I really do like the longs. Again, could be completely wrong. We could absolutely be selling off or opening up to the downside. Could get that Bloody Friday, but I really do like the longs from in here. And we might not get the aggressive sell-off that I'm waiting for. We might not come back down in here. This is the discretionary piece, guys. This is the discretionary piece, right? Yeah, you know what? Chat? Let me just take the look here. Just out of curiosity, what would this look like? Right below pre-market low. I don't want to be too hungry for it. I don't want to be too aggressive for it, but I really like the longs here. Man, no sweep of pre-market low. I'm definitely not taking that. But I got I have a trade I want to execute in here. So zooming in here for a second, guys. I mean honing in. Market's gonna move fast off the open. Yeah, I'm going to have to, at very least, wait for the move down here. I'm just trying to decide, how aggressive I want to be from here to here, right, where my longs are in play. This is quite a big space, in between this kind of choppy low end, of the zone that we put in and then the extreme. And I'm thinking I'm going to be more aggressive right into this low here. Down into maybe the 25s. 250s, 225s. Just taking a look. There's nothing down there. That's kind of par for the course on YM. Right back up. Right back up. NQ hitting VWAP. ES sweeping nothing, just kind of the middle of the zone. Yeah, we could dip our toe back down here on ES and get a little bit more of an extension out of YM. Not that I trade these in correlation, but I'm looking for some help on these other two as to where I might want to get involved, since there's a pretty big area between yesterday's low and pre-market lows without a lot of price action on YM. So I am just taking a peek over here. We certainly could find buyers right off of VWAP, which it looks like we're doing here in NQ. ES could find buyers right in here as well. Current volume point of control. Multiple volume points of control from this week. Yeah, I need at least pre-market lows. I can't be that aggressive. But we're gonna see how my read of the market plays out today. Listen, man, you got to have some guardrails for yourself, right? You can't just long and short all over the place just because you got a good feeling or it looks strong, it looks weak, right? That's not enough. You got to align yourself a little bit with some baseline read of the market in the technical sense. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want, but I try to. Anyway, I'm sorry to be super zoomed in here, not reading the chat, not talking about too much of the topics of the day. We got some stuff to talk about on Top Step. We got some stuff to talk about you guys in Discord. I'm looking at the longs in here and I'm trying to figure out how aggressive I really want to be. And we're coming back down. You know, invalidation point is outside of here. Is really outside of here. It's way wide. Like we could wick down, so it's a tricky one. Tricky. All right, let's watch. Let's watch and see. Chat, what's up? What's up? Can you get it and give it to somebody? No. Hey dear, I'm new here. How do I participate in the giveaway? You wait here, hang out on the live stream. We run on random days, random times. Here on the live streams on IG, in Discord. Hop in the Discord if you're not in the 100% free trading Discord. No course, no VIP, no mentorship, no secret upsell where I manage your crypto. You just have to send me all of your crypto first. None of that. So hop in there. You will have to be in there. It's pinned to the top of the chat as well. And stick around. And when there's a giveaway, you'll know clearly how to participate in the giveaway. You got an account and your country is restricted. That sucks. What is your, shoot me an email, dude. Shoot me an email or a DM in Discord. But no, unfortunately. If you won a giveaway and you're in a restricted country, just shoot me an email and let me know what email and username was. And yeah, well, it'll go to somebody else. Sounds like we're running a giveaway. Sounds like we're running a giveaway today. Traveler8138. Okay, that's who it is. Sorry, brother, that you won. And you can't use it. But sounds like we might be running a giveaway today, guys. We gotta give it to somebody else, man. What's up, guys? Pop, lock, and drop it. NQ is the trade for me today. Let's see. NQ long, nice. Good morning, my cuisine. What's up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's up, guys? What's up? We talked about if you're restricted. Cool. Cool. How do you pick winners? Usually duck races. Depends. I just pick my friends. When I do giveaways, guys, I make fake accounts and then I give them out to my friends. That's what everybody on IG told me they were doing. Like, are you kidding me? Duck races. Sometimes we run duck races. That's usually the play for the giveaways. Good morning, all. Johnny. Mr. Expo. Yeah, you guys like that one? Yeah, I got mass reported. They're like screenshotting the random accounts. They're like, this person has no username, or they're like not real. I'm like, all right, guys, if you say so. My bad. I've given out like hundreds of accounts for free every day on my live streams. I don't know. Why would I do that? Why would I not give out a giveaway account to random people who are winning it? Like, what? I don't know, man. The back end ways that people try to make themselves feel better about not winning something or not being able to do something is crazy, man. Trading's a scam. Nobody makes money trading because I didn't make money trading. You know, just like everything else in life is a scam, and it's not your fault. You were dealt a bad hand, and that's why, you know, you suck. Sorry. Take some responsibility, guys. Take some ownership. Extreme ownership. Okay? That's the way that I like to look at life. Okay? Think about poker. Here's some sauce for today. Think about poker, guys. The same guys, the professional poker players, the same guys that show up at the, you know, World Series of Poker every year, they're dealt bad hands, just like everybody else. Guess what? They play them. They suck it up, and they play those hands, okay? Just like you have to do in life. I'm not saying that being dealt pocket rockets back to back to back and being born a hedge fund kid is the same as being born with, you know, horrible, abusive, you know, family structure in a, you know, third world country, right? And being dead broke and having a disability, right? I'm not saying it's the same thing. But I'm telling you, if you use, you'll always be able to find an excuse. Everybody in life will always be able to say, it's not my fault. I was dealt a bad hand. Look at what happened to me. Bad luck, poor me. And that's why I just am, you know, never going to be able to do anything. If you tell yourself that, that's what's going to happen. If you tell yourself, I was dealt a shit hand, I was dealt a bad hand, I'm probably, you know, worse off than everybody else, and it isn't my fault, but guess what? I'm going to play that hand. I'm going to push forward. I'm going to put one foot in front of the other, and despite all odds, I'm going to prevail. I'm going to, you know, play this hand all the way to the end of the World Series of Poker, and those are the best hands. I don't really watch too much poker, but I've seen some highlights where the guy winning at the end, you know, bluffed, right? Obviously, but he's gotten through with the ugliest, worst hands all the way through when everybody else is, you know, not able to play the decent hands they're dealt. So think about that, guys. Think about that. I don't know how I got on that topic, but that's my ADHD mind giving you some free sauce today. Watching this market, man, came down close to pre-market lows. We're going to see. I don't know. I could be dead wrong. We could absolutely sell off. It's Friday. We don't have too many headlines breaking. I'll talk about News Squawk here in a minute. I like the longs just structurally. I said I wanted to buy it aggressively back up if we dip, right? This is pre-planned. I would prefer to be in this thing long. I'm just trying to figure out how aggressive I want to be if we dip our toes outside of this pre-market low right in here. I think I want to be pretty aggressive. I think if we start to come lower, you know, we could certainly dance around in here, which I don't like. You know, the invalidation point is way out here where I think we would, you know, certainly be moving lower. So structurally, this is kind of wide to work with, right? Low of the week, low of yesterday, you know, and low of pre-market. But I got a good feeling that if I wait for this, it will either not happen or the market's just absolutely dumping and I'm wrong anyway. So I'm going to look to get involved in here. I'm just going to try to decide if this is something I'd like to put a full risk trade on this Friday. I think it is. It's full port Friday, chat. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. We're not that degen. Here we go, cracking pre-market low. Waiting patiently down here. $25s would be nice. Get me a stop outside of here. Something like that would be pretty clean. I don't know if we get it. Yeah, I wouldn't even need that much to make it a full profit in this account. Oh man, is it just gonna be pre-market lows? I gotta give this another second, guys. If I miss it here, I miss it here. Gotta give this a little bit more time. Yes, growing CVD, NQ pushing back up. Ooh, got a little bit on down here, 1.8. Do we want to crack all the way down? I don't think so. I think we go right back up here. Chatty McChat chat. I'm just going to wait for this one more push lower, and we might not get it, in which case I'd be missing a pretty good opportunity on this, but I'm going to wait for this crack down into like the low 200s. We might not get it. You know, we cracked pre-market low right here, and just having a buy order at pre-market low is really the only way you would have been getting in here. Might give us a second chance, but I'm going to wait for just a little bit of a push lower where I take a stop down below yesterday's low, and I'm comfortable with that. On this amount of risk, so let's just take a look and see. I don't want to front run this, but making my bed that I don't really want to come off this, but real quick check. No, can't come off this yet to look at ES. Huffing and puffing here, guys, because I'm wondering if this 100-point is gonna, this 100-point little move that I'm waiting for is gonna kill me here today. Got some headlines coming in here. Could get volatile. Check ES and NQ quick with you guys here. Let's take a look. Sorry for locking in. Sorry, not sorry. ES breaking and testing, breaking and retesting here. NQ sitting around VWAP. It's a tough one today, guys. Let's see what YM's got for me today. Game of inches, as always. Game of inches, but let's see. Let's see. Let's see. expect to talk with Pakistan mediators about. Okay, a couple headlines coming in. Yeah, patiently waiting down here, guys. I want the longs, but I gotta wait for what I need to see. I even kind of jumped in a little bit early yesterday. Still played out nicely with the wide stop, but I don't want to be stopped out in here. I will be really upset if I got in long and got stopped out in here, you know. But this is looking like it's just gonna have been, you know, what I was concerned about, where we might not pull down too far and we get a really, you know, aggressive move right off of pre-market low. Again, I said 250s for this to be in play. Technically, we didn't hit that. Technically, we traded the 52 if I want to make myself feel better. Still in play unless we shoot right back through VWAP, and then that's the trade. I'm going to wait for one more aggressive push lower. Low 200s would give me a way to structure risk. I'd be happy to take the L on that one if we have to come all the way through towards the 49,000 evens, right? I'd be comfortable to take that loss, but until then, I'm just gonna try to sit patient for a moment here. What is magic? Trading View's great, dude. Trading View's hysterical. Yeah, guys, trying to read this market. If we get a nice crack through, I don't mind also looking at the ES order book on this. If we get a nice crack through down towards the low 200s, I'm gonna long this. So just waiting patient. Chat, what's up, guys? What's up? Stop asking me about giveaways, chat. I love you guys, but stop asking about giveaways. Here, ready? No more giveaway questions. If there's a giveaway, you're gonna know about it because there'll be a giveaway. And there'll probably be a giveaway. Long it on Friday usually feels scary for me unless it's a scalp trade. Why? Sam the Trader, do you find that usually Friday's a down day? Do you find you take outsized losses on longs for some reason on Friday? I'm curious to hear why that is. Good morning. Only one person pressed the buy and sell button for sure. Good morning, good morning. Good day, Zach. What's up, Curtis? What's up, guys? What's up? NQ still falling. I could get the entry you're waiting for. Yeah, we're gonna see. I got a feeling I'm not. I got a feeling, gun to my head, that it's just gonna sweep pre-market lows. Maybe we head back down towards it. I'm debating whether or not I want to take it from in here right now. Just gonna stay patient and read price action and structure to the best of my abilities. This is not a bad invalidation point to have a stop way outside. I'm watching ES on the side here, but we'll see. We'll see. Would like to get a trade on a Friday. I'd like to long it on a Friday, right? But we're gonna have to review. Somebody's got to ask AI to review the last, you know, or maybe Edgeful or something. The last how many years of market data on a Friday? Like, is a Friday usually a red day over a green day? Is that bias correct that you're holding there, San? Man, I have to keep myself level, right? So this is where trading gets tricky. Trading gets tricky, right? You know, we come into these moments in the market where we get real close to an entry, really close to the first spot where you say, I'm going to allow myself to enter. And then as we get real close, we don't really hit it. You get that itch, get that real strong itch where it's discretion, it's intuition to a degree, but you want to FOMO in. You want to jump in. You want to front run it, right? You kind of want to front run your entry. And that could be okay to a degree, but within reason, right? I'm trying my hardest not to just click the buy button too early today, while also not missing my setup. Now, there's certain things you could do in between. You could enter with half risk, and then if we come lower, you could enter again at your initial spot, right? You could scale in and out. There's some different things you could try to do. That's just not my style. I just don't find it works well over the long run. It's not really just good for me personally. But this is the tricky part about trading, man. This is the tough stuff, right? You know, how much discretion do you allow? How much is reasonable? You know, before it gets just completely inconsistent. And for me, I'm trying to find that balance, getting a little bit more aggressive because I definitely do have patience without getting too aggressive, without finding myself entering 100 points before I want to enter, getting stopped out, and then the position moves back in my favor, right? So I want the longs in here. I really wanted my aggressive spot that would allow my stop loss a really comfortable spot to be. I don't know that I'm going to get that. I'd prefer not to take anything, in between that. If we get close to that 250s, again, based on this structure, based on how big of a fight that buyers are putting up, maybe we sweep these lows. 10 a.m. opens up, it's coming up. We come down, dance around here, and then start to move away from it. I'll take it. But, you're going to have those times where market gets close, and then it moves in your direction. Like I got a real good feeling that it's going to come right out the top today. You have to ask yourself, right? How much discretion are you going to allow, right? How much? For me, a little bit more is probably going to be helpful. At least today. But there's a lot of most times where I can continue to be patient. Right? It's not often that I catch the absolute top or bottom. Sometimes. 10 a.m. coming up. Oh, we got USM consumer sentiment. Okay, so we could get an entry coming up right here, guys. We could get something that brings us right back down and gives me a good entry. Let's see. Let's see if patience is going to pay us today or if getting stupid aggressive would have helped us. Let's see. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the wick in here, guys. I'm gonna buy aggressively into that if we get it. Bought right back up. Oh, come on. Don't do it to me, guys. Don't do it to me. Is that going to hold? Playing the game of inches with these candlesticks in order flow on a Friday with my chat. That's my song, guys. That's my song today. Not yet. Not yet. There we go. Let's go. Come on, give me that wick down into the 220s. 245s. I'm going to take it from right in here, guys. I'm going to take it from right in here. One more aggressive wick and getting bought back up. That's enough for me. I'm long. I'm long. We traded through my 250s. At very least, I waited for the 243s to get taken out. An ugly fill. An absolutely disgusting fill on TradingView. I'm gonna be done with this platform soon. Like an immediate 20 points late on the fill. So that's like ridiculous, but that's just the nature of this platform. I'm long aggressively in here, right? Waited for those 250s to get taken out. Waited for us to crack lower one more time. We continue to get bought back up in here. We got volume getting traded. We got a fight getting put up. I think we're either going to aggressively come lower, come down to stop my ass out, or start to pop back up to the upside, come back up to VWAP, and give me a nice winning trade. I'm going to put my take profit order way outside. I think that would be like insane, but way outside because I like to manually close. I like to close with discretion. But that's going to be my trade for so far, at least so far for this live session. Long 2 from 49 to 276. Looking for a reversion back up towards VWAP. Stop as far as I can get it. Way outside of this next area. Full risk trade. Full risk trade relative to this account size. I wouldn't quite kill this account because I got some profit in it. But I'd pretty much be killing it. I'd pretty much be burying it, right? But that's what I like to do with these funded accounts, right? Wait patiently, not copy trade them all together, not rip through them if I don't have to, flip for profitable days, no consistency rule style accounts, and then look to put up larger days and take me to the promised land of the payouts. And that's not working too bad for me so far, if I do say so myself. Oh, let's go. Rip it through VWAP, dude. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Hold this level. Give us the W on a Friday, guys. Take us to the promised land, YM. Listen, guys, I'm joking around here. I try to have some fun. I try not to just be completely all over the place joking around and laughing, but I'm going to try to have more fun with you guys. I hope you know that when I put trades on, I don't have too many strong emotions anymore, man. You've been trading for long enough. You understand there's a random probability of this thing just ripping to the downside or pushing to the upside. I have no idea what the next Truth Social post is about to be, which I'm sure will come out in the next 10 minutes here. But it's fun, right? You can have some fun on the live stream with you guys. Anyway, trade's on. Trade is on. Let's talk. Let's talk, chat. Let's see what we got. Let's see if we're going to take the fat L or the fat W today. Locked it out early. Talked about that. Shorted. News at 10. Head and shoulders pattern considered AMD. I don't know what AMD is, and I know what a head and shoulders is, but I don't really care too much about chart patterns or candlestick patterns. Why not limit buy for a better fill? It's a good question. I don't like really to have limit orders resting in this market. I prefer to be entering right then and there. I like to join bid and join ask, which I don't have the option to on TradingView. But I don't mind marketing in as long as the platform's pretty fast. TradingView is not. But I don't like to use a limit order as far as a, set at a specific spot that I want to get in because I'm reading price action, market structure, order flow. And having a limit order in this market for a, buy or a sell, just a traditional limit order, you're setting yourself up to be on the wrong side of a comment as you're waiting, maybe, where you wouldn't have been in if you watched the rocket candle just dump past that entry. So, I don't love using limit orders for entries, especially in this market, as in like fixed limit orders at a level at a zone. But good question. Anyone grabbing the top step before the cut payouts next week? Yeah, I'm going to load up. If you guys missed what Top Step is doing, unfortunately, they have continued to tighten up. Just so you guys know, I think it's important to talk about, right? Like, we're all trading props here, right? I'm biased because I'm partner and affiliated, not with Top Step, right? As most traders are. That said, I still trade with Top Step. I took a payout from Top Step this morning. I'm going to post it and say it was awesome later on, right? I was on Top Step TV for a long period of time before I was trading, all over the place. So I'll try to say this as unbiasedly as I can. Top Step's tightened up. Top Step's tightened up. And I watched their team. I really don't like the messaging from their team, the way that they try to spin everything. It'd be great if they were just honest and said, hey, guys, you know, our payout caps are too wide, right? You know, we can't have the $5,000 payout anymore on the 50K. We have to have $2,000 now. But in case you missed it, Top Step is tightening up. I actually took a screenshot. Let me see if I could pull it up. It's important because I talk about trading with Top Step. I do trade with Top Step. Again, I don't have a link or a code. I'm still good at trade with them. You know, for the most part, like I take modest payouts all the time. Like I'm not somebody that's waiting to take max payouts. I don't think for most people this is going to affect them, to be honest with you. Most people are not taking, you know, I'm not going to defend them. Most people are not taking max payouts, but this is bad, right? Objectively, like this is bad. They are cutting the payouts, you know, way down for most of the accounts. And this doesn't really matter because most people are not even using this in the first place, and the discounts are usually better than this anyway. So, you know, this is just a bad change. It is what it is, man. They had an insane program for a really long period of time. They were insanely aggressive. And, you know, to a degree, it's just not sustainable, right? As it goes on. You know, what I really don't like about them, I could just say, you know, I would kindly say this to their face, is the messaging, right? Instead of just saying, you know, hey guys, the 5K payout wasn't sustainable on these accounts. You know, we're paying out too much. We can't handle it. We'd love to be able to give you guys $25,000. It's just not doable with our rule set. Our rule set is great. You know, here's why we have to do it. They go, everybody's stupid. Affiliates will say the dumbest things ever to shill their codes. Why would they say anything bad about Top Step? You know, like, come on, bro. Just be normal. I think that's why so many other prop firms are doing so well, because traders like the honesty and the messaging around what they got going on. You know, they say, hey, we're not making a mistake, but we got to continue to adapt. So that's the big change. Obviously, everybody's talking about it on X and IG. There's a million videos about it. I'm not going to make one. I'll talk about it here with you guys. You know, it's not good, right? It sucks. Again, for the most part, most traders are not taking a max payout. Like, I rip $1,000 payouts left and right all the time. It's my favorite thing to do. Get an account to 2K, take $1,000 out, keep trading it. Like, you know, it doesn't put you in a bad spot, puts you in a tighter spot. I rip that nonstop. Like, you know, get to 4K, take out 2K and a 50K. It's not that bad. Is it worse because you could have a really nice day and now you can't take that out? Sure. Like, that's not great, right? You know, maybe, you know, I would have been limited on some payouts with that. But, yeah, I'm going to load up before they, if I can, I'm going to try to load up before they take it away with the 50Ks. And then I will continue trading them. You know, it does, you know, the edge is getting reduced on the trader side, but we've seen that across the board. You know, the sim farming game, the YOLO game is really, you know, coming to an end, and the firms are just continuing to tighten up. Again, what I like out of a lot of the firms that I'm partnered and affiliated with, Top One Futures, Lucid, Take Profit Trader, right, is that they're clear about when they have to make changes, right? Like, AJ comes out from Lucid and says, hey guys, we got to rip this Band-Aid off. Our price is just too low. We can't keep doing this, so we're going to raise the price now. They don't say, you guys are stupid. This doesn't affect anybody. Affiliates will say anything. Look at how much money we've paid out. We're still number one. We're the best. We're better than everybody anyway. All right, bro, you're lowering payout caps. Why don't you talk about that for a second? So, you know, that's my gripe. Overall, you know, it's okay. Just maybe the messaging could be a little bit better. You know, I don't think traders are stupid. I don't like to be, you know, spoken to like I'm an idiot. Or gaslit. Like, it's just not, that's my gripe with, you know, with other firms for the most part. But outside of that, man, yeah, still a great opportunity over at Top Step. Like, I'll finish with that. They got Project X. If you like the software, it's cool. They've had a lot of problems, you know, last year into this year with that. Hopefully they continue to improve it. They got a brokerage, you know, really cool stuff in that area. They've continued to make their live account tighter, you know, worse for the trader, better for the firm. They've limited a lot of people on trading metals left and right as soon as the market starts moving. You know, there's been a lot of things like that, but, you know, it's par for the course to a degree. I just think what so many traders like about, you know, again, I used Lucid as example, Top One, right? Top One rolled out with a ton of aggressive rules. It was by far, it was too aggressive, right? They didn't know that coming in, but the message from the CEO was, hey guys, listen, there's no easy way to say this. We have to tighten up. We have to make these rule changes where we can't sustain this, right? We will put ourselves in a bad position, and we're focused on sustainability. So in order to do that, we're going to change these rules that are not good for you, right? Rather than, these are good for you. Like, it's better to only have, one platform. Like, that type of stuff, I get it. It's marketing. I get the game that has to be played a little bit, but I'm just not a fan of it. It's just not how I run my show, and not how I like when other companies run their show. It just doesn't make for a good conversation. So anyway, that's my comments. Objectively, for the most part, most traders aren't passing evals, let alone taking payouts, let alone taking over max payouts. So for the most part, it's not going to affect everybody. Does it reduce the edge? Does it affect many people? Does it make it a worse program? Yeah, for sure. Would it make it better if the payout cap was wider and the prices were lower? Yeah. So, what are we talking about? Anyway, hopefully that helps, guys. Hopefully that helps. If you want to check out the firms that I trade with, they're down below on the bottom. Top 1 Futures, Lucid, Take Profit Trader, Top Step. I've taken payouts from all of those, multiple this year, all the way through this week. And I'm also still trying to wrap my head around what accounts I want to trade with Alpha Trader. So, really haven't been doing too much trading with them. I can't figure out if I want to trade the advanced accounts or the zero accounts. And before I really dive in deep, I'm kind of trying to wrap my head around, what I want to do there. Anyway, hope that helps, guys. If you have questions, comments, concerns, please feel free. It's always some BS, blah, 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 for the trader to make less money. Yeah, I don't like that. 60%, whoa, sorry. 60% payout cap, yeah. We have the right to protect the firm. Here's what's changing. Yeah, right? Yeah, that's what I would like to see. And I think more firms are doing that. So, someone said down step afternoon. I always thought top step and top one were one. Yeah, listen, top step's the OG. Listen, I hope you guys can, when you hop on somebody else's stream today, which I'm sure you're in other people's community, they're like, Top Step sucks. It's the worst ever. The downfall needs to be studied. There's no reason not to trade with Lucid. Use code RDF. Like, that's not what I do. That's not my style. I'll talk about it. I'll give you my opinion, just my subjective, biased opinion, but I'll try to be honest with you, right? There's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad everywhere. Top Step was the OG. They are the OG. They've been here the longest by far. They created the futures and retail prop trading space. I don't know if you guys know that, okay? They're office and headquartered in Chicago. They've been doing it for like 13 or 14 years. I don't know how long, right? And they've had many different things. It used to be a 2-step program. There was so much different things, right? And they got more and more aggressive, which was great. It was insane. A year and a half, 2 years ago, holy shit, dude. It was $20 evals. Like, they were giving them out like candy. And you had like no payout caps, copy trade in 5 accounts. You could move 150K to live. It was insanity, right? And not sustainable, which they don't acknowledge, but that's the part that I'm talking about. I think it'd be better just to talk objectively about it, right? It's okay. Anyway, I love Top of Futures, Tradeify, and Lucid, etc. Yeah, Tradeify's got some great stuff too, man. Absolutely great stuff. They continue to innovate. I'm looking at them for sure. Yeah, Top of Futures daily payouts account, not gonna lie, was so good. Imagine people capability. Yeah. That's why I was talking so much about it. Lucid, fast forward 1 year, Top Step, $199, $50 combines, five. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. Anyway, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, if you guys have questions, comments, concerns, I'm always happy to talk about it, man. But listen, everybody's biased, right? I'm paid. Everybody's biased, right? It can't be unbiased. Important to note that. Also, on the other hand, listen to how people talk, right? Have your eyes open, guys. I'm sure you understand business to a certain degree, and when you start to get a feel for people just being you know, no value, no original opinion, like no reality of the truth of what's going on, maybe you like grain of salt what that person says and you focus on somebody who's trying to be, a little bit clearer down the middle. There's so much BS, and there's so many smart people in this space, and honestly, so many people that I respect that I'm just like, I hear the stuff they say, and I'm just like, man, could you just try to be a little bit more honest and down the middle, like good or bad, and people will respect you for that. At least I do. Anyway, most people don't think like that. They play the game. This one sucks because they don't pay me, and this one's the best because they pay me. Period. End of story. Here's all the reasons this sucks because they don't pay me, and here's all the reasons this one's the best because they pay me. And the one that pays me never does anything wrong, and the one that doesn't pay me never does anything right. It's just not. It's not it, kids. I think people are smarter than that. Anyway, we're sitting long. 49,276. Gonna see if YM can't take me to the promised land. Nice rejection off of these lows. If we come back down through, I'm not doing anything. If we blast right back up to VWAP, I'm taking a profit and giving you guys a high five and going on about my Friday and taking a payout. That's what I got going on today. Let's see. See what the market's got for me. And while we're hanging out, Red Bull, bro, hit me up. Can I get a code RDF for Red Bull? Specifically Red Bull sugar-free. We're gonna get caffeinated. And yes, I know energy drinks are bad for you. Too good to be true is always very fishy, especially in the prop firm industry. It's people like you that can help us find the best prop firm. I try, man. I'd agree. Too good to be true is usually too good to be true, right? But it's hard. It's hard, guys. I fell for too good to be true. I fell for too good to be true. Like, way too many times I fell for it in the Forex and CFD space. And I'm a smart kid. I went to college. I had been trading for a bit. And it sucks. It sucks. So, I'm always happy to talk about stuff and try to answer questions and give my honest opinion, although it is biased, right? But yeah, so like I said, not great, not happy about it, don't like what I see, still gonna trade with them. Am I trading with others first? For sure. Top 1 Futures, Lucid, Take Profit Trader, Alpha, everybody that you see on the bottom here. Am I still going to try to leverage my abilities across more firms and more prop accounts because that works well for me and I get paid doing that? Sure. Yeah, definitely. Passed the eval 4 days, took the payout after 5 days. Let's go, Mike. Mike getting paid, bro. Mike getting paid. Yeah, let's talk prop accounts. How do you like Funded X, Zach? I think Funded X got a lot of good stuff. I've had a couple conversations with them and their team in the past. I think they got a lot of good stuff, man. I'm looking at their accounts as well. I think they got a really aggressive program. Is it the Funded X Bolt account that's like the daily payout account? I'm gonna look it up real quick. I think it was called the Bolt. Yeah, Funded X Bolt. It's a pretty solid one. It's a pretty solid one. But yeah. Let's talk prop firms. You guys want to talk props? We're talking props. All right. Here's what we're looking at, guys. Let's start from the top. Let's start from the top. No pun intended. Let's do this. I'm curious to hear. Who's your favorite prop right now, guys? Let's start a poll. I got a poll up there, guys. Let me know. Top 1, Top Step, Lucid, TPT. You're not going to hurt my feelings at all. You know, just answer these things honestly so we can talk about them. Who's your favorite prop? If it's not one of those, if it's Tradeify, Funded Next, you know, Apex, Funded Seat, if it's you know, somebody else that I'm forgetting to mention, My Funded Futures, you know, let me know. Throw it in the chat. I'm curious to hear. Who's your favorite prop right now? And I'll run through the 4 firms that are on the bottom of my screen that I'm trading with while I watch this trade start to move in profit. I don't want to completely come off of it because we might pop here, and I don't want to miss an exit. But I'm going to talk real quick, right? I'm going to talk real quick. Top 1 futures. Here's the prop account that I would choose from top 1. OG Instant Sim Funded. OG Instant Sim Funded. 50K. That's the banger right there. Okay? Lucid, what I've been trading with Lucid and taking payouts from left and right, hopefully today, the account that I'm trading right now. 50K Flex. Absolute banger. Absolute banger. Super cheap eval, no activation fee, one-time fee, no monthly fee. 5 minimum trading days, no consistency in funded. 2 day to pass, no DLL in the eval or the funded account. Solid. Super solid. Really enjoy this. End of day trailing drawdown. Instant payouts. Awesome back end. Really, really solid. Let's talk about take profit. These guys do not have multiple different accounts. 50K account. Also really solid. Able to trade big size. Main difference with this one is it's a $100 eval with no activation fee. Code RDF gets you the best deal. When you get into the funded account, you have an intraday trailing drawdown. Very hard, very difficult to work with. But daily payouts, no consistency rule in the funded account. Once you get past the $2,000 buffer, you can request with an 80-20 profit split. Absolute banger. Not easy. Not easy. Insane upside. No $2,000 payout cap, and you can only take 50%, right? But hard. 5 day to pass eval. 50% consistency rule, so technically you can get it done in 2 days and then flip for 3. Great pricing, great platform on the back end, all good stuff to say about TPT. Different, maybe better for more advanced traders, right? What else? Alpha. Alpha is the last one that I'm really trying to wrap my head around. Partnered with them because I think they got a really awesome opportunity. A lot of you guys are trading with them. A lot of my community is trading with them. Here's the one I started with, the advanced plan. $15,000 payout opportunity. Absolutely insane. Not particularly easy with a $4,000 profit target and a $1,750 on a max loss limit. So it is pretty tight as I'm watching YM start to turn down here. With an activation fee. So price is up there. But again, big upside opportunity, right? These are all different. Lucid, like we talked about, super cheap. Super cheap. You can actually get less than $98 with no activation fee, but you're going to deal with a $2,000, you know, payout cap. Oof. I'm watching this turn back to the downside, guys. Got to come back to it. So those are the accounts that I'm trading right now. If you guys want to, if you guys wanted to know. And again, top 1 to go back to top 1, our instant funded account. You know, no eval, no activation fee, never trading for money that you don't stand to withdraw. 5 days to payout, but a 20% consistency rule. Pretty fat payout, $2,500 from a 50K with a $3,000 profit target. Less money that you have to put up out of all of those between a eval and a funded account, but you know, 20% consistency. So yeah, really nice rejection up here, guys. Really nice rejection. Trended nicely back up. 50 points in profit. And then we're coming back down towards these lows. Dicey here. Same thing on NQ. We bounced off of VWAP a couple times. We're coming back down through. ES is down below. We certainly could be in for the down day. Certainly could be in for the down day. Let's see. Like I said, nothing for me to do. Nothing for me to do, even like as we were joking around off the rip. Besides, stay patient. Where would I look to start taking profit? Potentially back into the 400s near VWAP, right? You know, at very least, you know, over 100 points in profit. We start to trend lower, nothing for me to do. Nothing for me to do. Take the stop. All right, that's it. So let's see what the market's got for me today, man. W yesterday, W the day before, no trade the day before that, and an L on Monday. So back and forth week, a little bit better, a little bit more good than bad. Nice down the middle trading. At least that's what I'll give myself for this week. Let's see. So on the poll, Lucid by a long shot. 76% are voting Lucid. Lucid is the favorite by a long shot. Top one with a couple of you guys voting. Top Step with 1 vote. And Take PT with none. So you guys like Lucid. You guys are favoring Lucid. Nice. Nice. Let's see what you guys said. Lucid 50K flex. Nice. Tried Blueberry funded. Complete scam. Okay. Zach, have you heard or done anything with Parita Prop Firm? I have heard about them. I haven't done anything with them. There's just a lot of them out there. So funded next, top one, and Lucid. Nice. My top 3 are Lucid, Tradeify, and Top 1 Futures. Although Lucid doesn't support my country, which I wish they did. Yeah. Time pass. What do you suggest I should make in Ignite instant funded? I'm making $300. Made $300 today. Hoping to be consistent. Yeah, so just do the math. Do the math. Right? In the instant funded, you know what? But before I even do it for you, Time Pass Core. I believe you're a smart kid. I think you can figure this out. I think you're all smart kids. And I call you kids because we're all children of God. No, you're all my children. You're all children of Team RDF. I think you can do the math, Time Pass Core. So here's how to do the math. I'll tell you how to do the math and then you do the hard work, right? In the Ignite Instant Funded, you have a consistency score that says no single day of profit can be larger than X amount of total profit when you go to request a payout. So what is the total amount of profit that you can have before you request a payout? Is that the amount of profit that you want to have when you go to request a payout? And then what is the consistency percent? Do that math and then don't go over than that amount per day. And if you do that math and put it in Discord, I'll tell you if you got it right or wrong, or I'll tell you if you need to go back and do the math again. But I think having somebody do it for you consistently does not make any sense. And I will give you a little bit of a shot here. You should have already done this before you started trading the account and before you bought the account. You should know exactly what number the high end that you're aiming for is, okay? If you're in an account with a consistency rule and you don't know what that is, you're gonna F it up, okay? If you're in an account with no consistency rule and there's a payout cap, like for example, Top Step, here's the important math that we have to do. Top Step in the 50K is going from $5,000 to $2,000. If you could take out 50% of the profit when you go to request a payout, at most, $10,000 in the 50K account would give you a $5,000 payout, less a profit split and all the other rules, right? Now, it doesn't make sense to try to put $10,000 in the account. Why would you do that? You're only ever going to be able to take out $2,000 per payout per request. Maybe at $4,000, that's your upper payout cap, right? That's your upper profit target, excuse me. You request a $2,000 payout. That's your max payout, right? So, do that math on the front end. But if you don't know what that math is, you don't know what you're risking, you don't know what your profit target is, you can't really structure risk in a way that makes sense relative to that profit target. So, you got to do that stuff on the front end, especially with a consistency rule. Otherwise, you're going to jack it up. So, that's important. We believe in Time Pass Core. I believe in you. So, Time Pass. Again, I appreciate it. The comments. Do the math. Do the math all the ways that you think you need to do the math and put it in Discord. I have faith in you, Time Pass, because it's not that hard. It can be a little bit confusing. And if you're confused, watch my videos on YouTube that talk about the consistency score on the Ignite instant funded accounts with Top 1 Futures, where I do the math for you. I'll give you the cheat code to the homework, okay? But here's a really important part, guys, of trading. Is 100 people on here concurrent to... Oh, no. Wait. Sorry, that was over the book. No. There's a lot of you on here today. What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. Here's the sauce, guys. Here's the sauce. We're so concerned with the market, news, technicals, all this type of stuff. If you do not understand and know the rules of the prop firm that you're trading with, like the back of your hand, or if you're trading a live account, the margin requirements, the rules and regulations, the trading times, the instruments you're allowed to trade, liquidation limits, everything. If you don't understand that, the commission fee structure, like the back of your hand, you ain't gonna make it. You're definitely not gonna make it consistently. You might get lucky for a while, but that will come back to bite you. You can't follow the rules if you don't even know they effing exist. I don't mean to yell at you guys, but guys, let's get this. You can't meet the consistency rule if you don't know what it is. If you haven't done the math on the front end. I'm not yelling at you, Time Vasco. I'm yelling at everybody. Because I get these questions all the time from people that are trading the accounts. And I'm like, guys, you're in the car right now and you don't know where the brake pedal is. You can't stop if you don't know where the brake pedal is, okay? You need to understand what the rules are in detail, like the back of your hand, man. Otherwise, you're asking for a problem. And so many traders don't. All of them, too. Prohibited practices. Is there a minimum hold time rule? Is there a micro scalping rule? Is there a news trading rule, right? You're going to violate it. You're going to get the payout denied. You're going to do all this hard work. You're going to put your hard-earned money on the line. So please, if you take nothing else out of today, man, forget trading. Just go to the FAQ page. It's in the same spot. How you might say, Zach, that's cool. I don't know how. I don't know how to do that. Let's do it real quick as we push back to VWAP here. I'm not going to take this off, but I'm going to show you exactly where these rules are. And I made a video showing you exactly where the rules are at all the prop firms also, just in case you didn't know. I love you guys. Chat, I love you. You guys are awesome. Please, read the rules. Live accounts as well. This goes for everything in this space. You got to know this stuff like the back of your hand, and it changes. It shouldn't. I would like if it didn't, but it changes quickly. You need to be up to date. You need to be paying attention. Not to the prop firm drama and the affiliates yelling at each other about who's the best trader and who sucks, right? And all the random crap. But the rules for the prop firm that you're trading with, okay? Stay up to date. Maybe it's in their Discord. Maybe it's on their Twitter, right? You follow along with what's going on. So, important. Really important. Same with live accounts. My broker, one of them, regularly emails me about margin requirement changes relative to crazy stuff going on in the news, right? If I'm not paying attention to that, I might be in a beautiful winning trade, get liquidated because I held through an overnight session thinking I had the standard margin requirement, not have it, get taken out, and then miss a huge opportunity, right? And have to pay a fee. Like, you got to know this stuff. Got to know this stuff, man. This is the prerequisite. This is the basic math before you go to calc, right? And a lot of people are trying to do calc too before they pass basic algebra, okay? You're never gonna make it. You don't understand how to do the baseline first, right? So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys, and I'm trying to really lay this out for you. Very important. Very important. As we're sitting patient watching beautiful wicks get put in down here, man, let's run it. Let's run it, YM. Run it up for me. Run it up for me. Let's see what we can do. As we're watching this run, guys, I'll be right back. I will be right back. Chatty chat. I can't, actually. I got to see if we're going to pop to VWAP. All right, I can't go anywhere yet. Never mind. I was going to take my 2-second break, but it's 10:37. I can't go anywhere yet. We got this trade running, and I got to manage it. Yes, time pass. We talked about it. Every time I'm digging into a prop firm, the first thing I do is suck up information on their FAQ. For sure. What out Apex? I'm assuming you wrote what about Apex. Apex is interesting. I have not traded with Apex. They've changed a lot in the past. I'm not going to provide a whole detailed conversation on Apex. I've talked a lot about them in the past. I don't trade with them personally. Most of the stuff that they have going on just does not fit. And I just don't find it to be a good opportunity for me, personally. At least right now. Speaking of emails, does top one go to spam? Yeah, hopefully not. But if you're in the Discord, if you're not in the free Discord, just so you know, Let me plug it. Hop in the free Discord, and you can get my emails with my levels on my chart for YM and NQ. This Sunday, I will send you a chart zoomed out on the daily with all these beautiful magical levels, right? If you, here, let's cherry pick one. If you were part of my daily email, you would have gotten some of these levels. Maybe they played out nicely. Maybe they didn't do jack shit. But if you want a email from me on a weekly, bi-weekly basis, because sometimes I'll highlight something else that's going on, like News Squawk, hop in the Discord, verify your email, and we will we'll get you some fun emails. But let's talk about this real quick, because somebody said, nah, I can't come off it yet. Here we go. Here we go. Let's get the push back to VWAP here. Hang on, guys. Hang on. I'm going to show you the FAQ. I'm going to show you the FAQ pages. All right? We're going to look at it. Come on, man. A little bit more. Little bit more. Oh, come on, YM. Give it to me, man. Go trade through those 400s, brother. I'm holding my trades, guys. Holding my trades. Here's why. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'll talk about... someone remind me to talk about FAQ pages on prop firms. I'm in this trade. 790 bucks up. I could take it off and say, yay, W on the stream, right? It would feel good. It would make it easy for me, right? We're below VWAP. There's not really a good reason for me to do that just yet. Here's why I'm not going to do that, chat. I was short here yesterday, and I got out somewhere in here, okay? I was short, was I short here? I was short here on Tuesday, and I got out somewhere in here. Okay? I need to hold my trades longer. I need to hold my trades longer, right? My data tells me that I need to hold my trades longer. My data tells me that I should not go to stop loss to break even. My data tells me that I need to be this Bruce Lee mean. Where's the Bruce Lee meme? Oh, it's not loading. My data tells me to hold my trades. That's the long story short, right? Trust your data. Look at large sample sizes. Look at what you're doing. And if there's a case to be made to start to improve in one direction over another, try to do that. And for me, it's holding my trades longer. It's diamond hands in these bad boys, okay? I'm leaving money on the table left and right. Will I have trades, and maybe today's the day, will I have trades that do this? Where I entered here? And they came here and then do this? Sure. Of course. Absolutely. 110%. But if I close out my trades like this every day, okay? If I close out my trades like this every day, I'm never going to catch this, okay? That's the key. That's the key here, guys. If I close out my trades here, I'm never going to catch this, okay? I will have to realize that some days will come back on me and do this, right? You know, you can make your bet and say, I'm just going to capture little moves, and that's fine. But I'd like to lower my win rate. I would be comfortable lowering my win rate a bit and increasing my average R multiple. That's what I'm going for here. That's what I'm looking for here, guys. All right, let's talk about this quick, guys. You can't follow prop firm rules if you don't know where they are, okay? We're gonna catch a banger trade. We're gonna catch a banger stop. We're gonna catch a banger something here, right? I'm gonna watch to see if we come back up here on the left-hand side while I show you guys this, okay? 78% of you guys, 71% of you guys said Lucid. Let me get rid of that. If you want to trade with Lucid, I'm partnered and affiliated with them. Lucid is awesome. I was down in Miami and met AJ on Saturday of last week, the owner and CEO of Lucid Trading. It's great. They got a great program. I'm taking payouts with them left and right. I'm trading the account right now, and I hope to take a payout with them again. If you want to check it out, code RDF is going to get you the best deal, right? Maybe you say, hey, Zach, I want to check these accounts out. This gives me a lot of information, but it's not all the information. It's not like, what about news? And like, what about like different things? Actually, maybe they talk about news on here. I'm not sure. Where do I find it? Oh, big surprise. They have an FAQ button. That's where you find all of the information, right? How do I find the information on Lucid Flex payouts? Boom, right? Okay, that's Lucid. Maybe you say, hey, Zach, that's cool. What about Top 1 futures? I like Top 1 and I trade with Top 1. Me too, I would say, friend. They got some basic info here, but not all of it. Oh, what a surprise. They have an FAQ section that looks exactly the same. What about any other prop firm that we talked about, right? What about Take Profit Trader? Guess what? It doesn't say FAQ on their page, but I think it says knowledge base. Oh, would you look at that? It looks exactly the same, and they have all the detailed information on profit splits and news trading and every little thing, okay? If you don't read this stuff, guys, you're gonna get your payout denied, okay? The payout fairy is gonna come into your prop firm account and it's gonna deny your ass, okay? Go into the FAQs and read the questions. Read through this stuff. Okay, very important. This is the same at almost every firm. What about Top Step, you might ask, right? I bet that they have something extremely similar. You know how? Because I've gone to it. Oh, what a surprise. Help Center. Oh, look at that. All of the different detailed information about everything, okay? And maybe you say, hey, you know what, Zach? I looked really in detail here, but I couldn't find what I was looking for. Guess what? Every single effing one of them down here on the bottom right-hand side has the same stupid AI chatbot. Ask the AI chatbot. If the AI chatbot is not going to answer your questions, guess what? Keep asking it questions until you get to a human, okay? That's how you understand the rules for the prop firm, guys. That's how you work yourself towards a payout without getting a payout denied. Let me think about this for a second. Okay, yeah, I can say this confidently, I think. With futures prop firms, I've never worked towards a payout, not one time, and had a payout denied. Never. In all the years of trading futures props so far. I've never been trading with a futures prop firm and broke a rule that I didn't know about and then lost my account. With Forex and CFDs, I certainly got payouts denied because I was on the tail end of them just scamming everybody out of everything. But I've done that because I understand the rules. I can't stand these videos and posts on X. They moved me live with this amount of money. They denied me for micro scalping and really only I wasn't trading with a bot or this and that. Bro, just read the rules. They're giving it to you. Maybe it's not easy. Maybe it's a lot of stuff you got to read. There's a lot of money on the line, guys. Read the rules. That's my rant. Rant over. If you have questions about that, I've never seen anybody say don't read the rules, but if you think you shouldn't read the rules, then you let me know. We'll go from there. Market, come on, man. Give me this dub. I don't like how we came up to VWAP here and we drifted back down. Nice. And Q pushing. ES pushing. Let's go. Come on, man. Do that thing you do, YM. Do that thing you do. NQ flying, market about to fly. Yeah, is it going? It's going. Sand, I don't know if this is Mr. MX Buggy. I don't know if it's flying. It's going. It's trying to go. I don't know that I'd say it's flying. That's flying. But it's going. It's trying. It's trying to go. Still kind of chopping in this range here, man. Breaking the highs. Come on, breakout boys. What happened, Bulls? Run it, bro. Run this bad boy. Ugh. What is this? What is this, bro? Come on. Send it. Send it for the boys. Questions, comments, concerns, prop firms, futures, whatever you want to talk about. Throw it in the chat, guys. What do we got? And I think since we're hanging out here so long, I think since the dude that won yesterday, I don't think can get the account, I think we might run another giveaway here today. I don't know. I'm not sure. We might run one. We might run one. There we go. Amor's Fit. Great question. We stuck in a range today before that. Amor's Fit. Any reason why you wouldn't move your stop loss to break even? Now, Zach. Yes, Amor's Fit. Here's why. Why would I not make this a risk-free trade? Why would I not go stop loss to break even, right? Two reasons. Two really important reasons. First and foremost, outside of me thinking this is a good invalidation point or not, because that's number two, my data screams at me, really screams at me, never to go stop loss to break even, right? My edge, my expectancy, my overall P&L over a large sample size goes down, right? It's not that some trades will not do this, which this one very well might today, right here with you guys, right? It's not that some trades will not do that, because they will. It's that far more often, this will happen. Okay? Far more often. And I have come to terms, a little bit, because sometimes I still go stop loss to break even. I have come to terms accepting that this will happen less times than this will happen. And I will never allow this to happen if I always go stop loss to break even. Okay? I see that in my data across large sample sizes. Past that point, most of the time, whoa, that's not what I want to do. Most of the time, your entry is not a good invalidation point. I'd say 8 out of 10 traders that I watch go stop loss to break even, their entry is not a good invalidation point, right? Maybe they could reduce their stop to a reasonable invalidation point if they felt like if we broke the lows, they would want to be out. But most of the time, their stop loss is not their entry is not a good invalidation point. So going stop loss to break even doesn't make logical sense if you're trading, a technical based approach or really any approach, right? So for me, I don't like to go stop loss to break even. It feels good to go stop loss to break even. It would feel better and make me more comfortable and make me less stressed, right? Just internally to do that, right? I have to sit through that discomfort. It would not feel good for this to happen, right? But I'm here to make money, not to feel good. So it's really important to remember that stuff. And most of the things, just if you want a little indication on like what you should do, most of the time your gut's lying to you. Most of the time your emotion once you're in a trade is the dead wrong thing. It's the opposite of what you're supposed to do. So for all of those reasons, no stop loss to break even right now. When will I go stop loss to break even? In certain instances, we get really close to a take profit, and it's a near miss, or I'm about to take profit, and I'd like to just go stop loss to break even before I close out, because I would no longer rather the thing to come down. I don't have the mindset and psychology to handle a bigger loss, right? It coming back down on me for whatever reason that day. I can't execute in a way that is best suited for my P&L, right? We have nasty volatility that comes in. We rip higher. All of a sudden, they're like, war's over, right? On a Friday, and we just blast up here. The first thing I'm going to do if I don't close out first is go stop loss to break even. I no longer want to be, having risk on in that type of condition. There's a couple of those ways. So hopefully that helps. But you might find stop loss to break even helps you. You might find your stop loss is a good invalidation point. The only way that I can try to improve on my trading is to review, right? One thing I talked about yesterday, just to rely on this, just to talk about this a little longer. One thing I talked about yesterday was potentially tightening up on my stop losses in general. That's subjective, but in general, I found that most trades that continue to be profitable trades are similar to what we see here. Most of the time, I don't need as wide of a stop loss as I have, and I could probably tighten up. Now, I can't cut it in half. I can't quite cut it in half, right? Because, here's an example yesterday, right? Had I ran half of a stop loss here yesterday, I would have stopped myself out, realized, this thing is too close. Damn it. I can't do it. Is it really not going to let me do it because the sell limit is there? There we go. had I ran half a stop loss size yesterday, right? Look at how that would have worked out for me, right? So maybe not halfway. But what I've found through data, right, because we're talking about stop loss to break even, and whether or not it's helpful and why I wouldn't go now, I have found that I probably don't need the full amount of the stop loss. How much tighter, I'm not exactly sure. Not exactly sure. Maybe about 3/4 roughly of whatever I'm thinking that day, in general, would be a little bit more appropriate for me. But I'm a fan of a wider take profit, wider stop loss in general. I feel it's appropriate to do on a higher time frame. But again, how do I know that, right? How do I know that? From reviewing my trades. What do my wins look like? What do my losses look like? Damn, the losses are usually just, they rip against you, right? How many trades over the last sample size, right? Here's how you figure this stuff out. How many trades go 75% of the way to your take profit and then come all the way back down to be profitable, right? Like what percent of those versus how many trades go 75% of the stop loss versus how many losing trades did you take that could have been, you could have saved a 25%, right? Is it worth making that adjustment? Roughly, right? Because we're never going to be exact. Past is not going to predict the future, but you could review what you're doing. And again, this is how I've improved a lot as a trader. After I've started to gain some consistency, I have to sit down and have those tough conversations with myself and say, is this helping me or hurting me? What am I doing well? What am I doing poorly? And how can I improve from there? So, I am slow to change. There are things that stand out to me that I try not to do anything too crazy too quickly. So some of this stuff does scream at me, and I continue doing what I'm doing that's working pretty well because I don't want to risk making too big of a change and having things really turn around, which I've done in the past. But review and make small changes, very small changes. So hopefully that helps. NQ trying it, boy. NQ trying to run the highs. Yeah, I'll be right back, guys. I got to do it. I don't really want to because I'm in a trade, but I'm just gonna let it rip for a second. I'll be right back, guys. Gotta take a quick break. Be back as quick as I can. All right, nothing happened. Cool. Chat. What's up, guys? What's up, Pam? Zach, your beard is majestic. We like the beard, chat. I'll be right back, boys. I usually don't read comments that are responding to my looks, but here we are. Makes perfect sense. For sure, man. For sure. Yeah, A Morse Fit. I know that was a long rant, and I didn't come back and read it. Keyboard's cooked. Okay, you guys were talking about different stuff. Yeah, if you ask something that I missed and you want me to try to answer it, you could ask it again. But yeah, dude, here the bottom line is, right? A lot of traders come on, and I get it. People want to be told what to do. They don't want to figure it out. They don't want to hear the answer. And guys will go, stop loss to break even is, I make videos like that too. Stop loss to break even at this amount makes sense. Or stop loss to break even is a scam. You should never, close out all of your position. You should always leave a runner, right? You should trail your stop loss in profit. You should do all these things, right? Here's what the answer is. You guys want the real answer? Nobody else knows. Nobody else knows what you should do. You know what will give you an indication of what you should do? Your data, your results, just like everything else in the world. And guess what? I admit it as well. It's not fun to do, okay? Forward testing will give you an understanding, right? If you start to make adjustments without ever reviewing, you'll get some feedback from the market. But, we can hardly remember what we had for breakfast 3 days ago, right? You're going to remember what happened 2 weeks ago on NQ as you were trading, right? No, you forgot about it. So I think the easiest thing, because most people don't do any of this, guys, the easiest thing, do it this weekend maybe. Sunday comes around, grab a cup of coffee, grab a sugar-free Red Bull and a Voss water because you're bougie like me, and take a nice sip of that artesian water and throw your executions on the screen, okay? Just throw executions on the screen. Open up your prop accounts. Maybe you didn't journal at all. Open up your prop accounts and do what I just did this morning, right? I said, hey, yesterday, what was my entry and exit? Someone tell me my exact entry and exit. And MX, whatever the guy's name is, thank you for doing that, told me my exact entry and exit. And take a look at what happened, right? Where did you enter? Where did you exit, right? Could you have ran a tighter stop loss? If you went stop loss to break even, what would have happened? Could you have captured more or less profit on the trade, right? Do that for the last, you don't have to do it for every single trade you've ever taken, but the last batch that you have, 20 trades, 30 trades would be pretty good if you could get through that many, right? The more the better, of course. Hundreds and thousands of trades would give you the best sample size, but do it for a little bit, right? What went well? What went poorly? Here's what I can guarantee you, if you're honest with yourself. There will be at least a couple things absolutely screaming at you to do something different. There will be, I could tell you probably what they are without even, without you reviewing, because they're always the same. They're not always the same, but it's oftentimes similar. But that's how you know whether or not you should go to stop loss to break even right now, right? That's how you know. You don't know on the next trade. You'll never know on the next trade, but you'll know over the last 30 trade sample size that I took in recent market conditions, doing this over this would have helped me more than it has hurt me, right? So look at that stuff. And then second piece to this, A. Morris and everybody else on here. Here's a really important factor. Don't forget this. Can you reasonably do what you're trying to do? Can you make the change that you're trying to make, right? Because you might find that making a massive change would really improve your P&L. And making that change means running a super tight take profit, a super tight stop loss and a huge take profit. And what that would mean would be that you would lose 8%, you'd lose 8 out of 10 trades, and the 2 that you win would be huge. Can you really trade that way? If the answer is no, you probably can't sustain that low of a win rate mentally, right? From a psychological perspective, be real with yourself, because there's limits of what we could really handle. Nobody wants to talk about that either, but there's limits about what you can handle by way of loss and losing streaks, and try to find that balance. What's the best for my P&L, and what can I reasonably attain on the charts, right? Given what I'm doing right now, You might find that you're clipping your trades way too early, right? You're probably not going to be able to make a massive jump towards holding for forever and never closing. Maybe you try to make a goal to hold them a little bit longer, whatever that means for you, right? So that's the sauce. That's the sauce. 100% true. After you said to see how far price moves after I ditched my wins by looking at my trade history has changed everything. Yeah. Pam, absolutely. Journaling has been an absolute game changer for me. The data is invaluable for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, guys, again, if you see, it takes a while because this stuff is hard. But here's at least what happened for me. After I go stop loss to break even so many times, and there's a period last year, or I can't remember when it was. I was scalping NQ or ES really aggressively, where I was having trade sessions where I'd go stop loss to break even. I had one that was 3 in a row. I got into a good trade, short, got stop loss to break even pretty quickly, got stopped out, the trade moved in my direction. I did it 3 times on one live stream. But after that happens enough times, live to you and when you're reviewing your data, eventually you go, I'm not going to do this anymore. I know this is the wrong thing to do. I know I want to do it. I know it feels good to do, but I'm not going to do it anymore. I have to allow these to come back and stop me out if I'm ever going to take a effing win and trade, right? Same thing with holding winners longer. You know, how many times have you moved stop losses farther away from your losing position and the thing just, you know, rips your face off, right? Eventually, it happens enough times where, you know, we get to that breaking point and we go, all right, I'm going to make the change now. You know, but reviewing can help. Reviewing can help. And it can warm you up for the week, right? At this point, a lot of people say, Zach, do you journal? Do you use TradeZella? You know, do you use all this stuff? As you progress as a trader, you still need to practice. You still need to review. You still need to continue to improve. I don't think you need to do the level of analytical and soul-searching review that people that are starting out needs to do, which I did for years. So I review in slightly different ways. I review different things. But what I really do enjoy doing is over the weekend, and again, I have the best trade journal in the world because it's here me trading live. But what I like to do is look at all my accounts over the weekend, look at the past week, right? Maybe at the end of the month, you look at the whole month, and look at what the hell you did. What did the market do? What did you do with the market, right? How did you interact with it? What could you have done better? What could you, what's not working, right? If I hone in on something, like what I'm talking about now, which I'm probably going to have to do a deeper dive on, which is my stop loss sizing, I'm going to have to take time and go through a larger sample size, look at all the accounts, and all the different stuff on YM, all the trades I've taken. What would have happened if I made XYZ change? Is there a happier medium, right? And then do I want to make that change? Can I consciously make that change moving forward? Do I think market conditions were going to be too different over this small sample size that I'm looking at, and I don't want to make that change yet? What does that mean for the next 20 to 30 trades, or what do I think it's going to mean? So that's kind of the thought process, guys. That's how you get better as a trader. It's not finding a magical indicator that's going to improve your edge. It's staring at the charts, putting thousands and thousands of hours of time in doing the damn thing, getting better at technical analysis, better at fundamental analysis, macro, right? Getting better at the tools that you're using, and then reviewing what you're doing by collecting so much data and improving. Plot twist, it's extremely similar to how you would get better at anything, any sport, any profession. Literally the same thing. Just do it and watch the game tape, and then try to do what's working and less of what's not working. Hanging out, watching this trade with you guys. It is 11 a.m. Let's see. We had over 100 likes on the live stream yesterday. And today I didn't ask for any likes. I didn't say anything about likes. We didn't run a giveaway. We have 40 likes today, guys. What the hell is going on? Chat, what in the world is happening? Let's do this. I'll make it easy for you guys. There's 62 of you on here right now. I'll make it stupid easy for you. Let's go like 85. Wow. Boom. As we come back through my entry where I would have been stopped out. Let's see which one of the journal this is going to be on, right? Going stop loss to break even would have stopped me out actually a couple times here. Let's see which side of the journal it's going to be on. And here's the other piece. If you trade for long enough, if you journal for long enough, the emotion, the care, the desire to go, man, I don't want to take a 2,000. I don't care, right? It's nice to be in a financial position where you can do that. Also try to put yourself in a good financial position. But I just care about the large sample size. I care about executing, doing the thing that makes the most sense today, right? Do I know if this one's going to be a winner or loser? I have no idea, guys. We're trading headline markets. We really haven't gotten one yet. We're probably going to get one. The market's probably going to rip or dump in the next couple hours here. I'd be a little bit surprised if we weren't on the right or wrong side of a Trump, Truth Social comment on the war coming into the weekend, right? We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. We can only know over a decent sample size, right? That's the thought. So, chat, smash the like button. Giveaway at 85 likes. Put a couple exclamation point in there. We're going to give away a Top 1 Futures account. 100% true. Talked about that. Anyone using Trade C, ask Polaris to review your trades. Pretty cool. Cool. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the advice. Yeah, you could do that. What Mike just said. You can take all of your trade data if you want more detailed data and you don't want to pay for TradeZella. Use code RDF if you want to get TradeZella. You could take all of your trade data from the back end, from prop firms, from live accounts, and you could throw it into AI if you're comfortable with that kind of thing, and you could ask it to analyze it. Fascinating to type a brain dump of everything. I'm thinking about holding a trade and then look at it objectively later. Seeing the anger, excitement, and frustration is really interesting. Absolutely. Absolutely. Journaling your emotions while you're in a trade, really fascinating. Yeah, absolutely. Watch the NQ right now, and I'm disappointed. I'm locked out, and then I realized the base hit I made today is more than I make still at work all day. The value gets lost in trading, for sure. We talked about that a lot, Mike. The value absolutely gets lost, for sure. I agree with that. Oh my God, I realized I forgot to like. All good. Zach, have an ignited AJ Bullinger asks a good question. Will you get lucid accounts to give away the future? Probably. Love a new squawk. Thanks for the free code. Absolutely. We'll talk about this stuff. Talk about a lot of this stuff. 50K. Okay. So AJ asks, as we're watching this trade play out, as you guys hit 85 likes, we'll drop a form. Just so you guys are aware, you can hit this right now. If everybody hit the like button right now, I can see the back end of the stream, just to let you guys know. You have enough people. There's been enough people on and off. You could get the giveaway right now if everybody hits the like button. So we'll talk until we run the giveaway. Actually, let me get the giveaway ready, because now that I said that, you guys will probably actually hit the like button, and then we'll have to do the giveaway. So it's Friday, man. Crazy markets. Been a fun week with you guys, man. As always, been a fun week with you guys. Don't go anywhere. We're going to run a giveaway. We got a trade running. We're going to be on the right side of this next Trump comment and take a $900,000 W. $9 billion. Or just get our face absolutely ripped off and kill an account. One or the other. All right, we are almost ready for a giveaway. Yeah, 85 likes. You guys let me know when we hit that. Somebody in chat, let me know when we hit that. All right. What was the question that I was going back to? Here's my ADHD kicking in. Okay, yeah, the Ignite account question. AJ Bullinger. He says, Zach, I had an Ignite account for a bit now. Got close to payout. End up losing and having to build back up. Do you think it's better now to just be aggressive with it or keep working it slow? Here's my thoughts here, AJ. Here's my thoughts here. It depends on where you are as a trader, okay? If you are early on in your journey, if you're not taking consistent payouts, if you're not taking any payouts, if you're just barely getting consistent with trading, right? Or anywhere before like a lot of consistency, I would say it's probably a better use of your time and capital. Also, if you don't have a lot of capital to burn through prop accounts, to go slow, to build it back, to challenge yourself. Can I size down? I don't want to do this. I blew it and now I'm not happy. But can I dig myself out of this hole? Can I trade small enough and manage risk to put myself back on getting towards a payout here in this account? Can I do that, right? If you are someone that's farther along, you're many years into trading, you have a lot of capital, do I think it makes sense to dig yourself out of a hole? No, burn it and move on. It's not a good use of time and capital. Also, if you have a lot of capital to trade with, right? It depends on where you're at. If you haven't dug yourself out of a hole yet, or if you haven't dug yourself out of multiple holes yet, dig yourself out of the hole. Prove it to yourself. Get better at trading, get better at managing risk, right? If you've done that a lot and you're consistent a little bit, you're comfortable in your trading, your focus is on, your exchange of time and money for capital. So how can you maximize that? Burning the account immediately and then moving on to the next one, right? That's so it depends is the answer to that question. And that's how I would approach it, right? When I was in, hold yourself back for a long time. When I came over to trading futures, I was stupidly aggressive after having some consistency in live accounts and in Forex and CFD prop firms. I was stupidly aggressive, right? And I burned money and I wasn't doing anything that was making a lot of sense. I slowed myself down. I set the goal. Can I trade these evals slow as hell to stop losing them and actually work towards one payout, right? Can I work towards getting max funded? Actually, that's what I said. Then, before I lost any of my first Top Step funded accounts, my goal was super slowly to work towards one payout. Can I just get to one minimum payout? Those are the steps that you should take, right? And now I'm at a point where I don't have to do that because I've done that stuff multiple times. So that's the answer. That's the answer. I think it's important to understand where you're at. Where are you at with capital? Where are you at with trading experience, right? Have you earned the right to be aggressive with props or not, right? That's the answer. Be real with yourself. For most people, it's probably not. It's probably better to dig yourself out of a hole. Slow your ass down. And the glory of digging yourself out, of holding on to an account to multiple payouts, or to put yourself into a hole and then bring yourself back up, to have an account for 100 trading days, right? To hit some of these consistent goals I could tell you, are much more fulfilling than a quick payout, right? And you didn't do anything that deserved it, all right? So hopefully that helps, man. I continue to try to do that. I continue to try to challenge myself, to slow myself down, right? To work towards consistency. So hopefully that makes sense. Makes sense. I haven't taken a payout yet, so I'll slow roll it and dig it out. Or try to at least. There you go, man. Listen, get back on micros. Do the math. How many losses do you have left? How small can you trade? And dig that bad boy out. I cannot tell you how good that $1,000 payout, which is probably not a ton of money to you and not a good use of time and all these things that people say, oh, you took 5 months to get a payout or this and that. Did you develop an insane skill set and belief in yourself and respect for trading and risk management that you can now scale? Then I would say it's probably worth the time to do that. And if you never do that, you're never gonna, develop that skill set. You're just gonna be a YOLO boy and get some payouts along the way and never be able to trade. So that's my thoughts, man. Awesome. I think about how much drawdown you can take in a trade with 2 micros versus 20. It's huge. You stay in the trade. You could lose 2,000 and cover half the chart sometimes. Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. You think it's real to turn trading into main income? Trevor Smith, what's up? Do I think it's real to turn trading into main income? Sure. Yeah. Do I think it's a good idea to try to make trading your sole source of income by being a full-time trader? No, I don't think that's a good idea. And almost no traders, full-time, professional, it's not their only source of income. And they likely have income that challenges that as their main source of income. Also, to expand on that, do I think it's easy at all and something that can be achieved in a couple years? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think in order to turn trading into any meaningful source of income, you're looking at a number of years, not 1 or 2 or probably even 3, right? So that's my thought process on that. I think trading can be a meaningful source of income. It can be a main source of income, as you put it. But do I think it's easy or a short time frame to do that? Absolutely not. And do I think you put yourself in a much better position both edge in the market from a risk and capital standpoint and psychological standpoint by not having trading be your sole source of income? Absolutely, which is why I think you see almost nobody with trading as their sole source of income. Same with me, right? We talked a lot about that yesterday, so I'm not going to repeat too much. But I think it's really important to think about. Really important to think about. Let me go a little bit further. Just go a little bit further as we're kind of waiting for you guys to smash the like button. Also, is it real to turn trading into a main source of income? Right? Here's another question. What are you coming to trading with? What are you coming to trading with? Trading is a money multiplier, not a money printer. As much as I and others joke around and say, we printed today, NQ printing, right? It's not printing, it's multiplying, okay? So if you're coming to trading with nothing, with no money, with no risk capital, and you're trying to start out and scale, I think you are leaps and bounds behind somebody that comes to trading with, for example, $500,000, right? Or $10 million, or even $50,000, right? I think it's much more real for that person to start making a main or real or meaningful source of income with their amount of money. It takes money to make money. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, guys. With prop firms, with funded accounts, with live accounts, with everything, there is no free money here, okay? You need to have money. You need to get that money from an outside source. You cannot physically start in trading with $0. You could start learning to trade, right? You could start learning to trade with next to no money, but you won't make meaningful income or a lot of money with no money. That's just a fact. There's no secret behind that, but a lot of traders assume that they can. And, there's been some success stories with people scaling from next to nothing, but it's, almost nobody makes money trading to begin with at all. They almost never turn a profit. If you go to how many people have turned nothing into a huge amount, it's like, just play the lottery, right? You're trying to play the lottery. So it's probably not going to happen. Think about how much drawdown you can take. We talked about that. Makes sense. I haven't taken a payout yet. So I make enough of my day job that day trading is just something I'm trying to learn for fun. For sure. So I think that mindset will be good for me. Absolutely. Yeah, dude. We talk about this a lot, guys. But here's another one. You need every edge in the market that you can get, right? We're up against the stats that are not good, right? If you're here hanging out with me, I assume you're trying to trade. You're up against a horrible statistic, which I'm happy to talk about. Almost nobody makes money trading. Almost nobody, right? Does that mean that we don't want to trade? No, almost nobody does anything great, and almost nobody makes a lot of money. Almost nobody's in the top whatever percent of their field. Okay, so we know that. If you put yourself in a position where you're at a severe disadvantage in a lot of areas, you're moving yourself closer and closer to that group that's not making money, right? Here's an example of that. Which version of you do you think is more likely to execute better in the market? The version of you that has their back against the wall with no money, they have one prop account, and they've been trading it for a while, and they really need this rent money from this payout, and they have car bills that are due, and they don't really have a good source of income outside of trading. And they started really early on, and they don't have any money in savings. Or this version. The version of you that's continued to learn trading, that has very little bit of risk on the line, that is like AJ, it has another job, that doesn't really care about this prop account. They have money, they have bills paid, they have everything covered, and they're just here learning trading with risk on the line that, they're going to try to push towards making more money. This version will smoke this version every day. This guy almost doesn't stand a chance. This guy has a really good chance, right? Really good opportunity. I understand that it's hard to get here, really hard to get here. And there's been a lot of success stories. Some of the guys that I work with have had, the back against the wall situation. I didn't. I did not put myself in that situation because I understood the severe disadvantage that would give me. So try from the outside to build capital. Don't quit your day job, right? Continue to have outside capital. And also past this, I know we're ranting, but just a conversation that we're talking about. As you get better at trading, and I used to think this myself, I talked about it in some videos, we talked about it this week, you will always want more capital to scale. You will always want an outside source of income to be able to scale up your trading. You'll want it even more after you get confident in trading, right? Again, it's not a money printer, it's a money multiplier. The more money that you have, that you start with, that you have from outside sources, right? The more money that you can make in shorter amounts of time with less risk on the line. You have a much higher chance of success. These are just the math behind it. This is why on Wall Street, right, and funds and firms, they are constantly funding with outside investors, right? They're constantly raising funds. That's what. Why would these guys need to, go out and get millions of dollars for their funds if it was just such a good system? Wouldn't they just do it themselves, right? Why is Zach here yapping about trading and partnering and affiliated, right? For more money, right? To trade bigger with, to have outside source of income for all of ththese reasons, right? So, think about that stuff, guys. Think about that stuff. Keep working a W-2 if you can. Have side gigs, right? There's so many in this day and age. Do stuff online, make content, have a side business where you're making, things. Drive for Uber, get into real estate. Depends on where you are, in life. Try to figure different things out. And I used to glorify it. I'm definitely guilty of that. I used to glorify full-time trading, right? This dream of just, you trade for your phone for 20 minutes, and you can, but you also have a whole lot more time in the day. It's not very fulfilling to just click buttons, and you have a whole lot more time in the day than you really need to trade once you get past the first couple years. All right, rant over. Let's see. Real talk. Yeah, we talked about it. SPY chart showing much cleaner range, better picture, second day. Don't forget tax on the payouts at the end of the year. Not fun, for sure. 1,000%. Very important. I'm not a CPA. Talk to a CPA. You need to pay taxes. You need to pay taxes on trading income. You need to pay taxes on prop firm income, on all income if you're in the U.S. Put your money aside for taxes. If I told you how much I paid for taxes last year, you would throw up. Put your money aside for taxes. A bigger amount that you want. Retired, having fun learning trading. Awesome. Yeah, informative rant. Yeah, no advice, but maybe comments. We're getting close to this giveaway, by the way, guys. Thanks for going through all that. The mindset side of things is definitely the biggest side for me, for sure. And again, guys, I'll finish with this. These are just my opinions, okay? I'm an idiot from YouTube. I don't have it all figured out. I'm not the best trader. I'm not on the prop firm leaderboards. I was doing pretty good with a couple of different things, but I'm not the guy on YouTube that I'm the biggest trader and the biggest streamer and that's not me. Okay, somebody else can have that. Figure out this stuff for yourself, right? Here's my journey, here's my thoughts, but you got to decide this stuff for yourself. You might be better off, for some reason, never having any outside source of an income and put yourself back against the wall. I don't know. I can only talk about what I've done and what works for me and what I've seen work for others. So it's just opinion, my subjective biased opinion. So hopefully that helps. We talked about that. What else did we talk about? I'm doing options trading as well, doing good. Ooh. Yeah, be careful with options. Be careful with options. A lot of people go to options and they learn about options selling and they think it's free lunch. And they're picking pennies up in front of a train. If you don't know what that means, think about it for a second. And they get steamrolled eventually. So be careful with options, especially selling options. Most people don't really fully understand the instrument that they're trading. But options can be great. I trade options as well. I've tried to get more into options this year. Can you guys like the video? What are we doing? Any ideas for main income? I can't work physically. Trevor, what's up, dude? I have no idea, man. I honestly, I'm going to try to stay in my lane on that one. I don't know. No idea where you are, or who you are as a person, or what you're good at or not good at. Sorry that you can't work physically, man, but I do not think that trading is a good source of main income, coming to trading, early on with not a lot of money, and that's where most people are. That's where most people are. Do I think it's a great potential money multiplier after you learn an incredibly difficult skill set that's super frustrating and takes years to learn? Yeah, I do. You know, but if you put it under that lens, a lot of people probably wouldn't start trading in the first place. So, thanks for, yeah, we talked about the masterclass strategy for starting with $0. Watch Zach every day and paper trade, then eventually win a giveaway and become profitable. A more spit. Yeah. Tax advice is the best advice that everyone will ignore from your team CFO. Yes. Yeah. Here, listen, guys. Again, I try to stay in my lane. We're almost at the light count. I try to stay in my lane, but here's not tax advice or financial advice or advice at all or a suggestion or recommendation. Here's what I have done. When you come into entrepreneurship or making money where you're going to be 1099 and the money is not going to be taken out of your income, it's very easy, and Pam, this is going to be like, I'm talking to preschool here, but, you know, and anybody else on here that knows half a thing about, you know, taxes. It's very easy to forget how much money usually comes out of your W-2. It's very easy to forget how much money is taken away from you that the government so gladly holds on to. And at the end of the year, you go, hey, you took too much out, and they give you a little bit back, right? When you start to take payouts or make any money doing anything outside of a, you know, where taxes are being withheld on, you know, for you that you elect, you need to do that yourself. You need to put it aside, and then you need to make estimated tax payments quarterly yourself. If you don't do that, when it comes time to do taxes, you are going to be in for a rude awakening. They're going to ask you to write a check. They're going to say, remember back in the day when you were working a W-2 and all that money was taken out, and then you took all of these payouts from, let's see, Lucid and Take Profit Trader and all of these. Yeah, and you wrote some of this stuff off, but you didn't pay us anything on that. You got 1099. We want our money now. So make sure you're thinking about that. Very important. What I could say is, I'm an idiot. Talk to a CPA. I'm not a CPA. I'm also not a financial advisor, so talk to a financial advisor. I have no qualifications or certifications that would allow me to provide advice in any realm at all. I'm just a regular idiot from YouTube, if I haven't made that clear enough. But I think it's really important because other people's streams, you'll hop on and they'll say, here's exactly what to do. Take 0.33% of all of your payouts and put that into a savings account and then make quarterly payment. I don't know, bro. I have no idea. I don't know you or where you are, how much money you make, if you're married or not married, what state you're in, like country you're in. Like, there's a million different things. So talk to a CPA. Talk to somebody that knows that. And then ask them what to do. And pay them. Anyway. 88 likes. There we go. You guys did it. Okay. Awesome. We're going to run a giveaway as this trade is just painfully chopping around entry here. Let's run it, guys. Let's run it. Good conversations, though, today. Hopefully you guys agree here with good conversations. Let me clear this. Hang on one second. Oh no, I don't want to report my own message in Discord. All right, guys. Giveaway form is live in Discord. Let's go 11:42, 10 minutes. All right, chat. The giveaway form is live in Discord. Let's throw the giveaway. I gotta get another one of these, but I'm not gonna throw it up. It's the wrong one. Let's just put it on here. Giveaway. What is happening, dude? What is up with my... I'm really tripping out. Keyboard dying? What in the world? All right. Link is in the chat. The giveaway form is live in Discord in the giveaways channel. Okay? hop in the 100% free Discord community, verify, and then be part of this giveaway and maybe win a funded account. Yeah, you gotta follow all the instructions. I'm requiring you guys to have an IG account. You gotta follow along, so sorry. If I start making exceptions there, we're gonna have people that tell me they don't have an account, and then they're, you know, pulling the scam game. Let's go, let's run it. If you're taking payouts, very limited expenses qualify for deductions, and losses do not, unless you create a business. Not me. I didn't say that. The chat said that. Not financial advice. 15 to 28% feds, 0.3% state, 50% self-employment. This is part everyone forgets. This Pam says this is tax advice. There you go. Yeah, guys, let's run this giveaway, man. Let's run this giveaway. Let's run it, Chatty McChat. Fun session. Still in a trade. This looked good. I'm gonna hold it. It's like choppy BS. At this point, I'm not super stoked on it, but we're gonna hang on to it. But go ahead, guys, get the giveaway form filled out. Is NQ and ES still running? Oh my goodness, it is. YM, bro, what in the world are you doing? What? Oh, come on. YM, bro? YM needs a Red Bull. What? What? Dude. Ugh. I don't like that, chat. I really don't like that, but it is what it is. I'm on the laggard today. Sloth said something about caffeine. What were we talking about in Kick? I love Celsius. Red Bull was never my thing. You should try Celsius Peach Mango with green tea. Ooh. Yeah, I do like Celsius. I like all energy drinks. I watched this reel. It was super funny. That was like, you don't get to change your energy drink brand. You pick one when you're 16 in a gas station, and you stick to it for the rest of your life. You think I want to drink a White Monster every day? I don't want to do that. I have to. It's making me laugh. But yeah, I like Red Bull. I got a couple different Red Bull flavors. I also like a good yerba mate. I like a good coffee, a nice iced coffee. I like all types of caffeine, to be honest. But yeah, Celsius is good. Ghost energy drink is good. I got a mini fridge full of caffeine now. And I will note, energy drinks are bad. I'll be the Mackie from South Park. Energy drinks are bad, okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. They're bad for your health. Maybe you drink some like natural green tea or something, or some organic coffee that you brew yourself with nothing in it, and that's a little bit healthier source of caffeine. But sometimes you just need a good old gas station Red Bull to fire you up on a Friday. Finish out the week strong. Everything in moderation, chat. Oh, YM didn't move much. NQ did me good. We need a tax master class. Yeah, taxes suck. Yes, too real. They should have taxes on purchases only. Bro, we have history of Red Bull and Monster. Ghosts of our past life. First form energy drinks are fire. Nice. Your mate is solid. I tend to just make coffee for sure. Milk is my go-to drink. The Dow Master. Yeah, trying today. Chopping around break even. Anyway, yeah, man. If you have like an hour to dedicate to being a yerba mate enjoyer, they are great to make real yerba mate. I do enjoy doing that, but man, it is a time consuming. You could just get the the can, and maybe that's not nearly as good, but maybe you get a little bit from that. Monster has one of the highest investment returns ever. There you go. Yeah, because there's so many degenerates addicted to White Monster. Just have espresso. Yeah, there you go. That's better. Nice, a good old espresso. Yeah, man. Some of the some of the traveling, one of my favorite things to do when I travel, pinky out, is to get a really good espresso. Really good espresso. They make them good all over the place. So like obviously Italy for some delicious espresso drinks, some cappuccinos and lattes, or just straight up espresso because it's so damn good. Even in the South, right? Like Dominican Republic was getting some really, really good espressos down there, man. And everywhere else besides here drinks caffeine like water. It's crazy. These dudes would laugh at like me and my one Red Bull per day, maybe. I'm not drinking a Red Bull per day, by the way. These dudes drink coffee all day. I think they give their babies espresso. There's no milk in the baby bottles. It's just straight espresso. It's crazy. Chat. Yeah, good conversations today, guys. Good conversation. Best coffee drink for sure. Oh man, I want a coffee now. I went to a coffee show last year, tried 23 different espressos. I was wired all weekend. Oh my god. Yeah, don't do that. Zach, is your bookmap showing ES? It is. It is. My bookmap is showing ES right now. I primarily run ES bookmap. I try not to contradict myself as much as I can, guys. I don't really trade ES and NQ in correlation and YM. I don't say ES is going up, so I'm going to long NQ or vice versa or whatever. I don't really do that. But as far as paying attention to bookmap, ooh, I hate this. Good question, but I hate this. As far as paying attention to bookmap, I do prefer to watch ES's bookmap over anything else for two reasons. Number one, I just feel that it has a way better read of everything going on. It's a thicker book. The CVD changes more rapidly. I can get a better feel for what's going on there, even though it's a completely different instrument. It's a much thicker book. It seems to be more action. Also, outside of that, whether or not that's more helpful or not, probably biased because I was born and raised with bookmap watching ES. I haven't used bookmap for forever, but when I started using bookmap, I was trading ES almost exclusively, and I watched ES on bookmap only for months and months and months and months and months. So I have a better feel on ES for bookmap at least, and for YM and NQ, I have them up. I think it's important to watch them as well. I can cycle between all of them. It's just a much thinner book, and there's usually not action like this. Wow, it's been on all day. I just haven't paid attention. 10:27. Yeah, an hour ago, we had some nice stacks of orders come on the book down below. It's just not as helpful. It's so thin. You know, it's just usually not big stacks of orders. I don't get as good of a read on volume. But what I will say is, for my case here, I don't like that there's this 3 stack of, what are these? Oops, I didn't mean to do that. 30 lot, 40 lot. I don't like that. But yeah, guys, you got about 2 minutes to get the form filled out. Go ahead and get that one filled out if you want to be part of the giveaway. Hopefully that somewhat answered the questions. I watch all of them. You can tell what bookmap I'm watching by the price. I realize that I don't have it displayed because it's cut off on the screen here. Without me cycling through and showing you which one I'm looking at, obviously you could tell by the price, right? So this would be ES's, price. If we're into the 20,000s, we're looking at NQ, and if we're into the the 40,000s, we're looking at 40,000, 50,000, we're looking at YM, right? So we should be able to discern that. All right, giveaway form is closing. We're gonna run the ducks. Chat. We're gonna get somebody funded. Let's see. Give me a second, guys. Let's make sure you guys were cool with it. I think you guys were cool. Got some headlines coming in here, guys. Just as I'm doing this, I'm seeing them pop on News Squawk, my favorite financial news site in real time. Just to show you guys this real quick. If you want to check it out, link is in the chat. These are starting to pop. Got some conversation on Iran. This could get a little bit dicey. Not getting too big of reactions out of these. None of them are even highlighted, so they're not anything too massive. But as these start to roll in, what I've noticed, as these start to roll in here, we could get the True Social post. We could get one that hits pretty hard. You know, important to recognize the headline risk that we're trading. For me, you know, I'm accepting that on the front end. I'm not going to do anything different right now. But did want to note that. If you want to check out News Squawk and get the fastest source of financial news, in my humble biased opinion, because I'm partnered and affiliated, go to the chat and check it out. Let's go. All right, we got our ducks. Now. Before we run this, let's hype up what accounts we're getting, potentially. Before we run it, chat, we have Top 1 Futures, 50% off with code RDF. If you're looking for a stupidly cheap eval, Top 1 has $39 evals. Shout out Top 1 for supporting me, supporting the stream. They've got some solid options like we were talking about earlier with instant funding. I don't like the volatility that's coming in here. I got a feeling we're going to be on the right or wrong side of one of these headlines coming up. Let's see how good of a feel I have for that. But for now, we're going to run the ducks. Appreciate you guys for filling out the form. Let's run. Uh-oh. Take us to the promised land. Setting a take profit here at 49,558. We're out. We're out, chat. We're out. We were on the right side of the Trump headline. We got a W today, chat. We got a Dubsty. Quick reaction, taking profit at the next area of high volume. This could absolutely run. Let's see what this one was in Tradovate. Let's get the dollar amount. I know that was quick, guys. I know that was quick. But let's see what we ran up. I couldn't even tell you what that P&L was showing. I honestly have no idea what that P&L was showing. I'm just trading the chart. We were moving super duper fast on that one. Can we load? $1,813. Chat. W's in the chat. Let's go. Now we're running giveaways, guys. Now we're running giveaways. Throw the W's in the chat. Let's go. Let's see what this exit looks like. Oh my God. Come on, guys. Come on. I don't know what else you want from me, okay? I'm joking around, guys. Obviously, we happen to be on the right side of some volatility that's coming into the market. Let's see what this actually entry, exit, and take profit was. Let's go back so we can just talk about it. We're going to run a giveaway. I know now you're going to wait. Now we're going to do a trade review first. You don't want to wait. You can go on your merry way. We're going to run a giveaway, but I want to see what this looks like. I want to see what this looked like here. Let's see what we did. Let's pull it back up real quick. Can I pull this up real quick on my stream? Entry was 7.6. Entry was 7.6. Stop was 7.7. And take profit was... Let's go to the tape. Let's go to the tape, chat. Why? Why am I not able to go to the tape? Because I'm not on the right account? What's good, dude? Limit sell filled to at 58. Bang. Chat. I don't know, man. I don't know how we almost top-ticked it. What a surprise, chat. What a crazy thing to happen here. What a shocker that I said a take profit right at the high volume node, and we went and hit that, and then we rejected harshly. Looks like we're going to come back through. Do I think this is going to be another one that's filed into hold it to the moon? Do I think Kobe Clark on Kick is going to say, Zach, you didn't hold it for long enough. You should have diamonds handed. Yes, 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 yes. Did I diamonds hand it? No, right? Did I take my almost 2 grand on a Friday and I'm going to snag a payout and go on my merry way and have a great weekend with my wife? Yes, 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 yes to all of those, okay? When we are coming into aggressive volatility, and we could talk about exactly what it is because it was popping up on NewsSquawk in real time as that was happening. I just had to react really, really quickly. Let's talk about it just so you guys know. Here we go. If you want to know the reasons behind market movements as they're happening in real time, here's the news that was breaking right then and there as the market started to rip, okay? But as the market starts to rip like that, volatility comes in. Market gets super duper dark like this. I'm not looking to carry through. I'm really not looking to carry through. I would prefer to take profit on the way up. Maybe the thing continues to the moon. Maybe it comes right back down. I'm out gladly, and I go on with my my day. That's it. So W's in the chat. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Let's go. How do I sign up for the news thing? Let's talk about that real quick. Sorry, guys. Crazy W's in the chat. You guys went absolutely insane. So many W's. I don't even know like what we're talking about here. Okay, so someone said, what the hell just happened? How can I sign up for the thing, the news thing, right? Let's talk about this, guys. A week ago, actually just this week, I partnered with NewsSquawk, which I'm going to show you right now. I can't continue to show this too much. I'm not allowed to stream it live, obviously, because it is an extremely high-end paid program. If you want to check out NewsSquawk, the link is about to be in the chat on both of these. You can try it for $19.99. Kobe, there you are. I knew you were... Kobe, what do you think? I paper-handed this one? I did not pull the diamond hands on this one. Listen, I know my boys. I know my boys are here for me. No, we're probably going to run another 500 points. But guys, this is NewsSquawk. NewsSquawk is a real-time, read-aloud financial news service. Not only do you get breaking news, you get scheduled news events, you get data releases, you get Trump tweets, true social posts, you get curated Twitter posts, you get a complete research suite with extremely, in my humble biased opinion, solid daily, beginning of the day, end of day, weekly, info. Again, I haven't been on it that long, but really, really solid. The big claim to fame here, which I don't have on right now because I'm yapping with you guys, is the Squawk. But as you could see, Curtis, who asked me, you could sign up for this. Link is in the chat. Code RDF gets you 7-day trial for $19.99. I think it's an insane time to try one of these. This blows Financial Juice or CNBC or anybody else, in my humble biased opinion, out of the water. Some of the other paid stuff, like Financial Juice, is really solid. I have yet to come across something that is even close to NewsSquawk. It's insane. So we have real-time text headlines, right? As they're coming in, you can see the headline and then detailed information here. These are read aloud to you before they print here or anywhere else by a human. If you turn this on, you're able to listen to it. I think that could be helpful in these markets, right? So anyway, that's what we got going on here, guys. NewsSquawk, if you want to check it out, link is in the chat. Where's the graphic? Hold on. Wait. Where's the graphic? Come on. Yeah. My editor hooked me up. 20% off total, but 7-day trial for $19.99. You can use code RDF. Stay tuned. We got some giveaways coming for NewsSquawk as well. Plot twist. If you sign up for the trial, you're probably going to be entered to win a giveaway. I don't want to say too much too soon, but we're going to be giving away some subscriptions. But really absolutely insane if you want to check it out. Now, sorry, we got sidetracked. We were about to do a giveaway. Okay, we're about to do a giveaway. Now, Top 1 Futures is about to run a giveaway with me here, guys. Sorry, let's go ahead and run it. Let's go. Nice to take a W with you guys, man. Nice to end the week off strong. Ugh, nice to end the week off strong. Let's see. We had some other good chats as this was running. Good luck, everybody. W's. So many W's. Boom. 320 for the day. Long. Yes. Chat is making money, getting paid. Heck yes. Past the top one futures 50K challenge. Challenge is passed. Curtis, we talked about what happened and showed you how. Andrew Baggs was 1,600. Let's go. Chat. Come on. Love to see it, guys. Love to see it. That one goes a long way towards digging account of the whole. Yeah, forum's closed, guys. Forum's closed. Yeah, forum's closed. Hop in Discord, and you can see underneath it where I said forum was open until 11:42. Okay? Read the chat. Zach jumped out of a trade early again. Damn it! Don't worry. Don't worry. It'll come. Jared to save the day. Yeah. I told you why I'm master. No. And listen, guys, we're having fun. Right? We're having fun. I'm joking around. We're chatting. I'm saying, what else do you want from me? I'll always grain of salt it, right? I'll always grain of salt it. We're going to get cooked sometimes, guys. We're going to take losses. You were with me last week. We took back-to-back losses, right? You know, as part of the game, there's no wins without losses. I'm not a genius. I don't have it all figured out. Even if I was and I did, I'm still going to get absolutely smoked, okay? Like I said, I go back and watch the video. I said it would be unlikely if we were not on the right or wrong side of a Trump comment or a comment that moves the market rapidly, okay? I'm just expecting, you know, one of those two to happen and trying to position myself at a spot where I could structure risk. So please, I'll always grain of salt my joking around or yelling when we take wins or losses with reality. It should be pretty emotionless in here, right? It's fun to be trading live with you guys, to be catching a win right as I'm ready to close the stream out on a Friday and take a really nice take profit at a key area based on a tool that I use. Is it nice? Sure. You know, is that going to happen every day or even close to it? Absolutely not. So grain of salted. Now, who's getting funded today, guys? Whose ducks got it? Let's go. Remember, don't go anywhere if you don't win. The person who wins has to have followed all the instructions, and oftentimes they do not. Glenn B with the W. This is a Discord OG. I don't think we're running this again, guys. I don't think we're running this back. Glenn B, are you here in chat? Which is question number 1. And then question number 2, are you following on? Hold on, guys. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere yet. Glenn B. Instagram account name is... We're not going to dox you. You are following on IG. Are you here in the chat? Glenn B. Don't go anywhere yet, though, guys. Don't go anywhere. It's Friday. Don't chill out. Here in the chat. We got W's in the chat. Let's go. Throw the W's in the chat, guys. Spam the chat with W's. Spam it. Let's go. My guess is up into the mid-600s. Nice. Glenn. Or Gwyn. I'm sorry. I always pronounce everybody's names wrong, and then sometimes they tell me I'm pronouncing their name wrong. So if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sorry. You are the winner of a 50K challenge account from Top 1 Futures. W's in the chat. If you guys want to check out Top 1, link is in the chat. Link is down below this video. I appreciate you guys for hopping on the live stream today. Taking W's on a Friday. Getting it done. We're not changing the interval to 67 minutes. Thanks for being here, guys. I'm going to wrap it up here, coming right into 12. This was absolutely awesome. Oh, quick note. We're not going anywhere just yet. I am usually here every day, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. Hop in the 100% free trading Discord. Link is pinned to the chat. I'll always give you the heads up. I am not live with you guys next week on Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, probably Thursday, and then no trade on Friday. Gonna be spending some time with some family back in my hometown. That's the game plan. On this weekend, coming up also, I got something really fun coming up. Podcast with none other than Lawrence the Investor. This is dropping tomorrow or Sunday. Follow along here on YouTube. Subscribe. I got an awesome podcast coming out with my man. Absolute gem in the trading space, especially when it comes to psychology and mindset. Really excited to be dropping this one. So follow along, guys, and let me know in the comments, for sure if you guys like it. Quick disclaimer, guys. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation. Do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even if under prop firm accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer. This is I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money, which I do. Important for me to note that. For you to do your own research, make your own decisions. Happy Friday, chat. Talk to you guys soon.